Good evening everybody. I hope you're doing well this fine Sunday evening. Let me just pop on over to my main scene. There we go, and we'll head on over. We have an Oreo sleeping soundly beside me. Let's stick the desktop audio on. I have everyone ready. K-Tom, thank you very much for the follow. And let's have a look who's come in today. So Dizzy USA, Renault Fox, Andy Magyar, and Rasheen. Good evening to you all. I hope you've had a lovely week of gold making so far. And Darkwing, how are you? Lots of Brutosaur love in this chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We should, I think, be live on the WowHead blog. Let me just have a look and see. We should be on. I'm going to go through and talk through the WowHead blog once it's on. Yep, it's literally just gone live. So I'm going to go and pop on over to that. There we go, let's have a look. We have me and Oreo on there. We're famous. Let's go have a look, and let's just bring that over here so we can have a look at that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to just make sure I can check that I'm AFK or not. So I'm going to stick on my screen there. And then let's just jump up and down a little bit, just so that we don't go AFK whilst we're talking through the blog. There we go, that's everything there set up. And Brutosaur is going to be even more rare, indeed it is. Speckert, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well this fine Sunday evening. Yes, the big news this week has been the news of the poor long boy is going to be extinct again. Poor dinosaurs don't get much of a good run, do they, at the moment? Needs extra love when removed from vendor, so you deserve love to the blogger. Oh, thank you, Darkwing. Thank you, Rasheen. It's very kind of you to say so. I'm really looking forward to it. It's something I've kind of been wanting to do in terms of like doing a kind of something like this as a weekly summary of what's going on in the gold world, and the economy blog's a perfect place to do it. It was very kind of Gumdrops to pass on the baton to myself. So let's go have a look. It's now live, so we can go and have a look. There we go, let's pop this up. Let's just make the window a little bit smaller so I can have this on the screen. I have to adjust this a little bit, hold on. There we go. There we are. There we go. So we have the WoW 100th edition of the Economy Weekly Wrap-Up. So it's quite a fortuitous number. Good evening, John. Good evening, Alizara. I hope you're doing well. What about the auctioneer on top? What do you mean in terms of auctioneer versus auctionator or TSM, or do you mean something different? Thank you, Miracle, for the follow. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday evening or afternoon or wherever you are. So we have Oreo. If you're wondering what this lump of fur is here, this is Oreo, one of my two cats, who usually joins me for most streams. He likes to go to sleep on the rug. You can't quite see him because he's facing away from you all at the moment. Oh, the dinosaur mount. Yes, the dinosaur mount going is going to be the main thing at the moment. Removal of the Brutosaur. Also removes the auctioneer on the Brutosaur. Oh yes, what about the auctioneer on top? Yes, exactly. So that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Would they actually remove the auctioneer but still keep the mount? That would be a real shame, and I certainly hope they don't do that. I hope that the mount stays as it is, really. I mean, this is the main thing we're going to talk about. This was the, if we go back to the top, the first thing I talk about, which was the Brutosaur going extinct. This is the main thing that is the main thing we're going to talk about today so far. I don't think they'll remove it. No, I don't think so either, because I can understand them making the mounts difficult to get hold of, because you have all that scarcity mentality in terms of things like that, and mounts do get retired from time to time, so there's always that. So I don't think they'll actually remove the actual auctioneer from it at this stage. but they will remove the vendor that sells it, as Darkwing said, once Shadowlands comes out. So we don't know when Shadowlands is going to be released yet. So, I mean, from listening to other people who seem to know more about it, they seem to think that it's going to be later than BFA. The mount will cost you €260. That's 2 years of game time. It is a lot of gold, and if you think about it as actual gold, or if you think about it as money or time, either way, any of those three things, it's going to be a definite big investment. The vendor that sells it stays, with all the other items still available. Only the Brutosaur will be removed, and then go on to the black market auction house. Yes, that's right, isn't it? Bind on pickup. From a Goldmaker perspective, are the long boys bind on pickup? Yes, I think they are. But then it's account bound, isn't it? So the difficulty there, really. Just going to turn my phone off because it's going absolutely mad. Hold on, let's turn that down. There we go. Specky is also great. That's your nickname back in school. Oh, right, okay. Crom, how are you? The fear of missing out argument is only about people spending IRL money. Also about people feeling the need to change how they're playing the game, stressing about it and making choices they otherwise might not have. Exactly. I mean, I guess it's one of those things. If you really wanted to get it, you would be working towards it already. I mean, this was something I was definitely... I mean, I was already a gold maker once I got here. And so when the Brutosaur got announced, I had about 1 million gold on me at the time. And it still took me a good number of months to actually save up enough to get it. And then since I've gotten it, I've got another 5 million in order to be able to get possibly another one. But then I've had to spend a lot of gold on things like game time and stuff like that. Johnny Juice, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Lee Tim, how are you? Good to see you as well. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday so far. Personally, you do your auction house work on your level 1 to 3 bank carts that can't use the mount. Yeah, I mean, that's something I hadn't actually considered, is bank carts can't use the mount, can they? But then a bank cart is most likely parked by an auction house, so you don't really need the Brutosaur. It's mainly something when you're travelling around. Usually I like to park it up near any mailboxes and things like that. Allied race bank carts are the best. From what perspective, Crumb? You can't use it because you craft and disenchant whilst doing your auction house stuff. Well, yes, there is that as well, isn't there? You can do that whilst you're actually at an auction house, but you can't whilst you're mounted because you automatically dismount. I hadn't actually thought about that. I've been doing that in Classic Regime, but I haven't done that in Retail. But then I don't quite have the volume that you have, certainly. A Nightborn gives you a mailbox too. Oh, really? That would be interesting, actually. So is that mailbox on a cooldown? How quickly can you summon it, and how long does it last for? You have a second bank account. Do you think it's worth it all for you? If that bank alt is literally just sat at the auction house, then the choice is entirely up to you. I wouldn't have thought so from a day-to-day point of view. The main thing about it is really just the reason I got it myself was mainly because it was an awesome looking mount and I love dinosaurs. So for me, auction house aside, that was worth it for me. Having an auction house on top of it was just like the icing on the cake for me. You also have a second account for doing your auctions. You still want it. You want the mount just for show. Exactly. Everyone will have different reasons, certainly. Jack, how are you? Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say so. I just spotted I'm AFK, so I'm just going to quickly jump up and down so that I don't disappear, and then we'll go back to the blog and we'll go through everything. How's your week been, Jack? Hope all is good with you. So we've just been talking about the Brutosaur, so the fact that it's going extinct. So it's not completely out of everyone's reach. If you really wanted to, you've still got enough time to be able to afford it, but it would require I would say, a significant investment of time and resources. But even as a casual player, as I kind of count myself as, even though I do pretty much gold making as my only thing, I think if you really want the Brutosaur mount and you just want to do it with regular gold and you don't have to spend actual cash for it, I still think it's possible. Because we've worked through, I'll carry on with the other things I've got on the blog here at the moment. So Reckles, aka Want to Buy Gold, did a very nice video on it because he's doing this really cool thing where he's going to be giving away a Brutosaur every month, and he's been setting himself up over the past 2 months to get himself set up for this. So the news came as a bit of a shock for him, unfortunately, but it still means he can carry on doing it until it does become extinct. So it's a really admirable goal to do that. And what's interesting is you look at all the things that he's doing in order to get enough gold to make 5 million a month. The main thing he's doing at the moment is multi-boxing and getting all those set up. But the core of that is having lots of accounts and being able to do professions as well as farming. So doing craft, buy cheap materials, and then sell. And it's that cycle which someone like myself does as well on the as a single character, not with a multi-box character. 333 days of 15k a day. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I figured on, say, the end of August, so I've gone for about 282 days, and I made about 17,000. You can go less than that and make it 20,000 a day, but yeah, I think 15 to 20,000 a day would be a target. Had a nice week off, so what's the reason they are removing it? Do you need to buy it now with IRL money? You don't need to now, no. I think they're basically just trying to make it part of BFA, I think. I don't know their exact reasonings. I think a lot of people on the forums and stuff have talked about it being like the sort of scarcity mentality, and to try and get people to rush into either spending real money or playing the game and thinking, oh, I've got to do this before it goes. So I don't know why Blizz are doing it specifically. They haven't really said. I mean, literally the only thing they said was this blue post saying its days are numbered. I can confirm that when Shadowlands goes live, shady vendors will cease selling it, but they don't actually say why. We will make sure that the unforgettable Brutosaur is added to the list of possible items that are sold on the black market auction house. So it's still kind of available, but you still need a lot of gold for it there. Let me just quickly catch up on what everyone said. You're a casual world quest when you feel like not doing housework, and hide in WoW from it. Also at the moment, your goal for money making, you like having goals to work towards. That mount is your current one. Exactly. Yes, Lita. That's how I've really focused my goal making. And whilst I did have that goal of the Brutosaur mount, it was really good to see sort of what you do to kind of say, okay. But now the problem is you've got a time limit on it as well, so that does add an extra factor in. Do you think the removal is part of the 20k price drop of the WoW tokens? I would suspect so. Those that have the money will suddenly go, okay, well, they may not spend, they may not buy loads of tokens to buy the mount in one go, but maybe they think, okay, well, maybe I need to get a head start. Maybe I'll just buy a few tokens to get myself my first million, and then maybe I'll work on the rest that way. I really don't know how other people would react to it, but those that do have the cash to spare, I'm sure they would do something like that, where they would literally just say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. You got more angry whispers the past few days than you had in the past half. Really? I've not noticed that myself, but I haven't been on that much really in terms of like compared to what I'm normally on. So, but yeah, I wonder if there's more people on the auction house and they're kind of almost stressing out or rushing to try and get the gold. Slatky, how are you? I want to ask, is the Expulsum Brace still the best way for getting Expulsum? I would say it's one of them if you've got those professions and you can get the materials cheap, particularly Tide Spray. The Mr. Tikachu, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Token got high due to BlizzCon announcement and Shadow and Diablo. It's back to normal levels now. Yes, it did spike because of those. It's nice to see it go back down, because I need to buy some tokens to get myself the actual Shadowlands pre-order myself. Blizzard is trying to smooth the gold peak at the end of the patch expansion. Yeah, it was interesting though, because when BFA got released, the whole price took a massive drop. I mean, we'll have a look. Let's have a look at the. Let's bring another window up. Let's look at the actual token price as it is at the moment. Let's look at the EU one, because that's the one I'm most familiar with. Where's the one that's got the good graphs? I think it's the other website. Now let's just jump back and have a look there. Token price. This is the one I think I like to see, the European ones. If I go to this one, go over here, have a look at this one. So this was the price rising throughout Legion, and then it did take a big jump down here once BFA came out, and then it's been steadily flat, and then it's kind of risen with the latest bits of hype. If we look at this over, say, 3 months, you can't really see much of a drop at the moment. But 216 as a low there is pretty good, I would say. So I would definitely be buying a token around here. Good evening, GameCatCat and Espin TDX and Gold. Good evening to you all. Hope you're doing well. It's 226, yeah. It was 235 to 242 on Wednesday. Yeah, that's quite a big difference there. 235 here and then 216 down here as the lowest. So that's quite a big drop, really. Good 20,000. At the start of BFA to gear up the BOEs, and more people actually bought the Longboy with IRL money. Yes, I suspect so. So that's a massive drop though that it did have once BFA got released. It's interesting. Dunce, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I use WowTokenPrices.com. Let's have a look at this one. Yes, I've used this one as well. I like the EU one. The thing I like about this one is because of the sizes, you got a good variation in the graphs here. You can see where there was a great big drop there. But the problem with that is I like to see a history that's longer than 7 days. So I use this one as well, because then I can change this to 1 month, 3 months, and just get a real sort of idea. But the vertical variation isn't very high in here, so you can't see it quite so clearly. Whereas this one, yeah, this one is definitely much better when it comes to looking at the. If I'm going to buy a token, I will look here, and I'll look to see where the change is, and if it starts going up again like this, I'd consider buying one here. My week was very good, thank you very much. So let's carry on with the blog at the moment. So other things that, so we were talking about saving up for it. So if those that remember, when I did save up for my Brutosaur, I had this graph that I used as my target. And you can see here, I didn't actually make my target by the time BFA got released. This was like the 14th of August. So I still had some gold to make at the end. But I've made this available if anyone does want a copy and they haven't got the Brutosaur yet. They're more than welcome to take a copy of that. And I've got a blank sheet here. So this one will have, as of today, 24th of November, and then target gold 17,000, and then you can put in your gold that you have on a daily basis, and then I've taken a conservative end of August date as the final one. So if you go all the way down here, so end of August I thought maybe would be the last day. It might be sooner than that, but I'm doubtful really. I know BFA came out around here, but it may be much later. The word on the street is it might be later, so you never know. And then once you fill it in, all of these lines will come up, and then you can see whether you're on target or not. So hopefully that's going to be useful to people. And then this figure here, this is where I'm dividing 5 million by 282, which is the number down here. I've got 283 minus 1 from the top, which is the 5 million target. On token price in the top navigation, if you click extended history. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at this, not this one. Go at the top, up here, extended history. And then, where is that? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. That's good to know. And then can you... Yes, you can. Look at that. That's really nice. Thank you, Dark Queen. That's fantastic. So you think it's going to take over half a year before Shadowlands release? Yes, definitely. I think you've got time. Mr. Stark was eating. No problems, Adriana. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. We're just looking at token prices at the moment. So they're taking a little bit of a dip at the moment, but we will go. I'm not going to probably buy any tokens just yet. I need to get a little bit more gold. I've got about 1.7 million on Samadan, and I want to buy the Shadowlands expansion when I can. But I don't want to use up all of my gold yet. So that is available to everyone if they do want to. So overall, I think it's still achievable, but it is going to take a little bit of work. So hopefully people aren't going to be too upset about that. I think Shadowlands will be out between September and October, if not later. I think so, GameCat. I was listening to Taliesin on his stream, and he seemed to think it was later. And as we now know from the Blizz team, that Taliesin is always right, and so probably is correct. So what else has been going on? So I talked about a little bit here on the anniversary event, which has been going on for a fair amount, obviously, and so people have been gearing up their characters. So what I've talked about here is things that are potentially useful, like trinkets and Notorious gear. I haven't seen a massive upswing in sales of Notorious gear myself, just a few, but myself, in terms of buying a trinket, I geared up Samadan because I didn't have an offhand. And if we have a look, I ended up buying a Notorious Combatant's Etched Vessel of the Harmonious, because we realised last time on the stream I didn't actually have an offhand equipped, and I wanted to up my item level a little bit higher. So it's definitely, from personal experience, something that's happening. Fedri, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Let me just scroll up, I missed a few things. He says around mid to end of December. Yeah, it might even be that late. I'm hopeful, or I would like it to be sooner, but you never know. Imagine pre-patch will be October or November. You're brand new to WoW, level 75 main. What's the best thing to focus on first with money making? Oh, okay. I would say focus on leveling and enjoying the game first and foremost. There's so much to enjoy, and once you are level 120, there'll be so many more opportunities available to you. Now, ideally, once you've gotten 120, I would also suggest getting flying, but that's a bit of a bigger grind than you might want to have time for. So I would maybe suggest work on that, and then with that in combination, then start looking at what you could do money making. I think it'll be before December, so people will want it for like Christmas or something like that. Well, legally they have to do it before the end of December, because that's been the pre-purchase. It does say on the pre-purchase that it's available by the end of December 2020. If he wasn't so tired the other day, he would have gotten into an argument with Taliesin on stream saying, if whoever leaks Shadowlands stuff actually on the people working on it, he sat there thinking, we had no shame in making videos about it, the leaks to get views. Back to go to sleep because you were too tired. That's fair enough. Yeah, that would have been an interesting conversation. 8th January 8.3 in January, so the alpha beta not since March or April. As possible November, December. Yeah, I'm thinking those sort of dates. I think probably October I would be hopeful for. If you look at previous expansion release dates, BFA August, and for Legion, you see August will be earliest, but I think it'll be much later. They want to make sure everything's about right. Yeah, I reckon so. I've missed a load of things here in the chat. Hold on. Good evening, Mushy. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely week so far. I've upgraded your Pally's gear using the vendor outside Altruck Valley with the PvP Marks of Honor. Oh, interesting. Now, I'm keeping hold of my Marks of Honor because I will be using them for the next lot of PvP that comes out, the craftable stuff. I think it's the uncanny items that come out with 8.3, so I'm going to need to do tailoring and both sets of leather working with that, as well as my enchanting one as well, but I don't think I'll get many sales with that one. You got the chat rules pushed. Funny Twitch. Interesting Rose, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. And Gotti, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Got crafting professions, need those marks to get the upgrade recipe. Yes, that was what we were just saying. Made 400k this week, very happy. That's a very nice profits gold. Congratulations on that one. Oh, the answer to the question was 102. I was pretty far off with 70 to 80. I think I even said less than that, wasn't it? Didn't I say 60 to 70? How many braces was it you made in the end? Was it about 9? I can't remember if it's 500 or 900. I got about, I made about 1,900 braces I shuffled earlier. Should have kept them. Yes, I think, Adriana, it would have been useful to keep them if you do have any of those professions. It would have been handy, certainly. It was 600, you think? Yeah. There should be a brawl once the against the AI soon. Exactly. Game Kagat. I actually mentioned that in the post a bit further down. If we jump right down to the bottom, I'll talk about that. Where is it here? What's ahead? Comp Stomp is coming on the 27th, I believe it is. So if you go onto your calendar here. So it's on reset day, so it'll be the 26th for US, and for EU it's on the 27th. So Comp Stomp's coming out, so that's going to be really useful if you want to get your Marks of Honor here. You'll get about 8 Marks of Honor per win, including the quest, which gives you 5, and then you'll get 2 or 3 for a win as well. So if you've got a number of 120s, because they're account bound, you can send them to different characters. So it's definitely worth doing that, at least on every single 120 that you have. 500 honor in the AV daily, and it gives you 10. Yes, that's right, actually, doesn't it? And there's a quest from Chromia that gives you some as well, I think, or I might have been mistaken on that one. Yeah, so Legion, as we were saying, the Comp Stomp's going to be the best way for that one, definitely. Let me just make my way down there. Simulation, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Are predicting any Black Friday deals on the Blitz store? Oh, I'm sure they will have some. And it'll be interesting to see what happens to the token price there. You need over 36 to lock unlock all recipes for one armor type. Yeah, it is a fair investment, isn't it, Gold? John Levy, thank you very much for using your Prime. And Flame Off, is that Flame Off TV? Thank you also for using your Prime. Thank you both. That's very kind of you. Let's see, where's my chat thing? Here it is. There we go. Lots of emotes for you. Thank you very much for your support. That really is appreciated. Wonton, good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well. Have I talked about the Brutosaur drama yet? Be interesting to hear my take on it. Because they add another cool mount. It'll be nice for some cool mounts, definitely. John Levy, I got your good evening there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your sub, and good evening to you too. Right, let me just scroll further down, make sure I've got everything in here. So let's go back to the blog and carry on, because I skipped down to the bottom. So what else are we talking about? So we were talking about the Brutosaur, and then we're talking about the anniversary event. and we were talking about the next thing I was talking about was leveling your alts. So obviously Korok's Revenge Battleground, as well as giving you all these marks of honours and everything, it's also amazing XP, which I did on Stabadan, my rogue, and I'm even considering doing it on my Death Knight to get him up to 120. Cat Weasel, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Happy to support your favourite Goldmaking streamer. Oh, it's very kind of you, John. Thank you very much indeed. You're new here. Are you actually playing WoW sat on the floor? Surely that destroys your back. You would be surprised, Cat Weasel. It's actually, I do actually have a bad back from time to time, and sitting on the floor does actually wonders for your posture, because I do have to engage my core whilst I'm sat here, and I stretch my legs out from time to time. But the reason behind it is because this is my sort of my living room, so and I get Oreo to get to sit next to me, who he enjoys having his strokes. And but yeah, it's actually really comfortable. I am sat on a cushion though, so it's not quite as hard as it sounds. Do you think they'll put BFA at a discounted price during the Black Friday? It would be nice if they did. It would be nice to see some of the things like character transfers and faction transfers being cheap as well. Vesa, thank you very much for using your Twitch Prime. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much for your support. Let's see a whole load of emotes in the chat for you. Thank you very much. That's incredibly kind of you. Welcome on board. Do you think they put did that one? Did that one? Did I miss one on? Yes, we did that one. There we go. And Zero Nick, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Welcome on board. If anyone is watching from the WowHead blog, feel free to pop on in, say hello in the chat. How do you or can you deal with auction house campers? You've got one in your server camping auction house, and every undercut or enchants will be undercut by that person again. I can't compete with someone else's time. There will always be someone else that will be on there more frequently than me, because I'm like a normal person with a busy life, busy family, and I work. I literally just pick my sales, and I try and go on at different times. So I find early in the morning is good for me. So if you can find a time where you're awake and it's good for you to go on to WoW, then I'll try a few different posting times. Here is the Storm, already added their Black Friday 1 year boost deal. You still need 2 tokens to buy it though. They should have it by the start of December. Very nice. Good use of the thumbs up there, Vesa. Is it Vesa or Vesa Moro? Which do you prefer? Right, so we're talking about the XP bonuses, and so you've got the anniversary XP boost. You've got draft of the 10 lands, obviously wearing heirlooms, and then this one, the defending champion trinket. I haven't got this one myself. I first heard about this through Kuhn's stream. He was talking about it, but it does give you an extra really big boost for PvP Battlegrounds, which is really good for Korok's Revenge. So if you haven't done that and you're considering leveling some alts, there's a few things you could do there. And you still find time to entertain us with spreadsheets, videos, and now a blog. Yeah, face is fine, thank you. Okay, no problem. Oh, I love the Gums Love one. Yeah, shout out to Gumdrops for being so kind as to passing on the blog to me. He's always supported me in my stream, right back from the very early days when I first started streaming. I remember him raiding me. He's even gone, so far as to give me his old guild from Shadow Song. Did I try the Card of Omen flip? No, I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, you make thousands on it. Oh, I think that was mentioned. Yes, we mentioned that last stream. I haven't tried it yet myself yet, though. Hey, that's me. Speak of the devil, it's Gumdrops. How are you, Gumdrops? Hope you're doing well. That Trinket for STV is really hard to get right. Yes, you do have to win, I think, 12 or 13 arenas in a row. Not in a row, but you have to. It's on your 13th one of winning the arena, the Gurubashi arena, I think it is. I haven't looked into it fully myself yet. So it could be quite tricky to get, definitely. If you do have it, then it's worth using it, but I'm not sure whether it's worth trying to grind it out now to get it. The AV is only really good 60 plus, below is rather poor. Yes, that's what I've heard, so I think 60 to 120 it would be definitely good, but not anything less than that. Oh, fantastic, Gumdrops in with the Prime. Thank you very much for your support. It's doubly appreciated, thank you very much. That's extremely kind of you. Let's see, a bit of everything, and a bit of Gum's love in there as well. Thank you, Gumdrops. It's extremely kind of you. Busy day for Oreo. Yes, poor thing. He's going to have to rest out the rest of the stream, I think. Although the kind of thing he does is pretty much sleep most days, so I think he's all right. You use them. Is the flipping the cards burns a lot of carbs. All right. Okay. So talking about the event, and then we're going to move on to, we were talking about, Lizard, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. And Argasang, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. John Susan, how much gold do I have? Let's have a look. We can have a look over here. So on, Jack, 11 months, that's almost 12 months. Fantastic, thank you, Jack. That's incredibly kind of you. I know you don't play WoW as much as before, but thank you very much. We miss your dipping on stream, certainly, but thank you for your support. In terms of gold, let's just go over to TSM. We'll have a look. So all characters and guilds, currently we are sitting on, what's that, 2.2 million at the moment. We did go up to about 4 million back in September, and then I spent a lot on tokens for the Warcraft 3 pre-order, and I spent some more tokens on getting another 6 months game time. So I've reinvested my gold into my own time. You see more streamer cat todays than the last 5 blog streams. Yeah, there's lots of cats in this stream tonight. Thankfully, Oreo has joined me for company tonight. It's currently 4.5 gold per card. Right now, it's fun to track that precisely. You make 10,000 plus per month. I mean, that's a pretty nice amount on the cards. Definitely. Right, so the other thing I talked about was obviously some classic news. Is Alterac Valley and Warsong Gulch is coming to Classic in December. So I imagine the potion market and alchemy is going to see a lot of interest in there, both in the herbs and the. I don't know if anyone's been playing Classic since the whole PvP stuff is released. Thankfully, I'm on a PvE server, so I haven't had to experience the horrors of just being continually killed. I craft 1,000 cards per day, though. Wow, okay, that's quite a lot. So yeah, we were talking about the classic potions. I don't know which ones would work on a PvE server, because obviously we're going to have to wait for the battlegrounds to come, and it's a slightly different market. I don't have alchemy myself, but the free action ones, living action, poison resist, oil of immolation, swiftness, and limited invulnerability potion seem to be the ones that people go for. There's a whole list. If you follow the Reddit post, there's a document that goes through a list of all the popular ones. And Lazy Goldmaker, if you've not visited his blog before, highly recommend it. He's got a deep dive into classic alchemy, which is also really, really worth having a look at. And then, in addition to that, if anyone hasn't followed Breg Vids, he's got a fantastic YouTube series on making gold in classic, and he's kind of in a slightly good position in that he started Classic later, so the markets were already established, and so he's been enjoying levelling up and making sure he's got his professions, tailoring and alchemy, plus he's got a bankroll with enchanting, and then he's doing a lot of auction house flipping. So if you are interested in the flipping mechanics and how a real expert does it, I would highly recommend you follow this series, because a lot of the things you see here will also apply to retail. It was actually Bregg's videos back when he did his original gold challenge way back 2.5 years ago that I first got into gold making way back then. There were so many more potions in vanilla. You missed adversity in current WoW. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for Classic, and there's a lot I hope that they can learn from re-releasing it and bring into Shadowlands. It'll be really nice to see some of those things. I mean, they've said that in BlizzCon. They have said that they're going to maybe make... they're bringing back a lot of that class-specific stuff that, you know, would make each class identifiable. So it's going to be interesting. I'd certainly like to see that myself as well. It would be nice. I don't play a huge amount of Classic yet. I'm very close to level 35, which is where I'm going to max out my professions. I've currently got tailoring and enchanting, so I'm definitely going to focus on those. Although the problem with enchanting, obviously, is because if there's no enchanting vellums, I'd have to actually talk in trade chat. So I'm thinking I'm going to use enchanting mainly for just selling the raw materials and doing a flip with tailoring. That's my main goal at the moment. Although with all this talk of alchemy, I would be tempted to pick up alchemy in Classic. Although because I'm on a PvE server, I'm not sure how useful that would be. Mr. Deadfellow, good evening to you. How am I this fine evening? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? Had a good week so far? You're just currently going through and talking through the WowHead blog. So we've just been talking about Classic, and then I'm just going to talk a few bits about the PTR. There's some interesting developments in the food department. They've now added descriptions to all of the food. So you've got grilled nasher, which is and up to 10 minutes afterwards you do not lose sanity and are not affected by madness. And in this one, reduces the duration of incoming crowd control effects whilst in a vision of N'Zoth. And this one reduces that's the same. That's health, and that's the same one actually. I need to change that. Make that link to the correct one, Ghastly Goulash. I'll edit that out after the stream. And then Baked Void Fin, we have well fed, increased movement speed by 20%. So these are all to do with whether you're in a vision of N'Zoth. So the regular food, the 8.2 food, may still prove useful. So it might be worth keeping hold of your bountiful feasts and the other sort of single stat food, because I think that still might sell. You switched your second profession from alchemy to tailoring and BFA because of the new big bag. If they don't have another like it in Shadowlands, very likely to pick another profession again. It was quite fun to try something new on your main. I'm always reluctant to change professions on my main because I've invested so much time in collecting all the recipes up until that point from all the other expansions as well. My temptation these days is now to make another character rather than make a change on any of my professions until I've got all the professions, and then I might mix things up. Nobody's like Kuhn. Nobody has the time that Kuhn has. You could check Creve. Creve I've heard of. I haven't actually. It rings a bell, certainly. Doing fairly good. Started playing WoW again today. Oh, fantastic. Been a busy 6 months with the little one, so not much time for games. Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your little one, but yes, I can imagine. It was the same for me. My son was born shortly before WoW came out, and then managing a family whilst playing WoW has always been a tricky one. Oh, that's, yes, maker of all the things. There we go. He changed his name, didn't he? That was the difference. Thank you, Mushy. Yeah, it was... He had a different name, didn't he? And then he changed it to Cree. That's why it rang a bell. I do remember now. Oh, Litim, would I recommend some other Goldmakers farmers except for like Breg, Econs, and Want to Buy Gold? If you like farming, I would recommend, or loot appraiser things, Sea Thrift and Student Albatross, another good two. Targaryen TV, thank you very much for the follow. D Fortuna, that's another good one. What are the thoughts on farming gold at Pandaria Draenor raids? I know Mushy's done quite a lot. Ramu, greetings to you. Congrats again on the WowHead gig. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say so. Lazy Goldmaker is great if you're going to be doing any, want to read any blogs. I have a link here in the WowHead blog. You can go to Lazy Goldmaker here. And has a really good blog going through all lots of different bits and pieces. Sensors, of course, yeah, that's another good one. Next to him, Spare Tea as well, Bacon Bits, yep, other good ones, definitely. I just have to look at my list on Twitch, actually, probably find most of them out here. Hazel does the odd thing. We have... Who else? Well, there's not many anyone actually on at the moment. Mozeltov, obviously he's got family commitments at the moment, but does a lot of multi-boxing. Yeah, there's quite a few people. I know Gumdrops did a really good post on it on the WowHead blog, covering a load of streamers. And if you go onto the Reddit post on the sidebar, there's a fair amount there. Sensors, how are you? Good day to you. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of other streamers that make gold, Sensors was one we were just talking about. If you go click on her name and click through and give her a follow. That's without any lucky drops. What was that for? I might have missed that one. Skitchio, yeah. It's another one. Sea Thrift, definitely. 3k an hour, most say. Oh, is that for... Are we talking about the Old World Pandaria stuff? I missed that earlier. World Pandaria raised this week, and we have an easy 3k an hour. Ah, right, okay. I'm with you now. Now I've caught up on the chat. There we go. Can you do a TSM question? Of course you can, Speckett. Fire away. Making gold in World and Pandaria raids, about 3k an hour. So is that raw gold and from selling things? Looking for some new input into gold making? Well, you've come to the right place. Myself and many people in chat will be more than happy to help out. From selling things mostly. Right, okay. So what else was I talking about? I was talking about the patch stuff and the new food. Also, Billy Vardis had an interesting observation that the mailbox in 8.3 is going to be 100 rather than 50, which is going to be really nice, considering they're going to condense things into like multiple auctions. Like, say you bought 100 single tide spray linens, they would all get condensed into one mail. Not only that, you're also going to have 100 mail at a time, which is going to be really, really nice. He was updating his stuff, saw on his Twitter. Yeah, it had some good mailboxes as well, definitely. Just started watching Kuhn this weekend when I saw him being hosted here. Yeah, Kuhn is fantastic. Is on an awful lot of time as well, so if you want someone on in the background, let's do a shout out to Kuhn. For those that don't know, there we go. Go and check Kuhn out. He kind of does all the things challenge mainly, but he has a very good gold challenge going on at the moment, where he limits himself to a certain amount of time, and he goes from, I think he's on a high pop realm this challenge, so he's going from a level 1 character and only playing, I think it's maximum 3 hours a day, and then going for going to see if he can make enough for a token a month. I heard that Mailbox reset their timer. It's been changed to 30 seconds as well. I did hear that. I wasn't sure whether that was a... I did hear some reports that it might be just a PTR thing only, just for testing. But if it does go to... yeah, because it's a minute at the moment. If it goes to 30 seconds, that would be really nice. If obviously it goes to 15 seconds, even better. Really has a shift to gold now. He wants the Brutosaur. Oh, really? Has he not got the Brutosaur yet? For some reason, I automatically thought he had it. So yeah, that would be that's going to be a big challenge for him then. Maybe he can do a write-up about it as well. Yeah, Monster wants to make a list of all the gold makers and gold farmers on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, I did see that tweet. It'll be good. It'll be good to see once he's collated everyone. You have to make small gold. You want the long boy. Well, you've come to the right place, Blem. There's plenty of people who will be happy to advise you, myself included. Just make sure I haven't missed out anything on the chat there. Nope, still alright for the moment. So what did I do on the blog? I also did a little bit about the TSM mailing here. I didn't actually realise this icon here in TSM mailing did a refresh for a long time until someone on the stream pointed it out to me, and that was really handy because I was using a macro up until that point, but also using the shift and control when you're clicking open all, sales, buys, cancels and expires is really handy if you're doing some picking up some mail and then going off and sorting the washing out or something like that. He's been doing herbalism and mining for 2 hours to put on the auction house. That'll be interesting. I wonder how much gold he can make from doing that. Is it current content herbs, or is he doing the old world stuff? You've got a 16,000 gold card. So your average per card is 52 gold. Very nice, Drizzling. Very nice. Been doing a mix. I guess that's good because that way he won't flood the market really. It's always worth bearing in mind. Thought it was shift click instead of control. It's shift click if you want it to. Let me go and demonstrate it in here. Let's go find a mailbox. I'm off in the sky at the moment. Let me just jump down. There we go. Let's dive in our best Flash Gordon, Brian Blessed. MT the Moonchild, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Let's find a mailbox, and I think this one will be a good one. There we go. So have a look here. Well, I've got a few things in the mail. So if you shift click, say like your open mail, sales, buys, cancels or expires, then that will carry on opening it after everything has gone through and the refresh timer goes. I'm at the Moonchild coming straight in with a sub as well. Thank you very much. It's incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much for your support. And good evening, Commander Bond. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Moonchild, for your support. There's a whole load of emotes in the chat. Just to finish off what I was saying here, and then if you hit Control on Open All Mail, it'll open everything except for the gold, which is really handy. And then if you do Control and Shift on Open All Mail, then it will just cycle through and only collect everything but the gold. So that was a question on that. So that's handled. Takes memory, killing your game after half an hour. So it's delete old data. Only force remove your data from TSM. Yes, as Gumdrops was saying, if you go into, then I'll come to your question as well in a second. If you go into your settings under accounting, and then you've got your clear old data, you can say select everything from more than a year old or half a year old, and clear all the data that's older than that, and that will help prune out all your bits and pieces. Just watching one of it and saw it online. Oh well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to stop by, and thank you very much for your sub as well. And then where was Specket's question? I saw it here. There we go. Getting into farming ore just to relax and stuff. But is there a way to make TSM post everything you got? So no specific stack size, for example, but post 156 ore in one stack and undercut the lowest price. Basically, yes, you can. If you set something to have a, let me check in TSM here. So if you had a group, let's have a look at the operations. So if we have a new operation here, call it post everything. And so in your posting size here, so say 48 hours, say you set your post cap to 200 and your post stack size to, and the maximum is 1,000, so you could go the full 1,000, but say you made that say 500 would be plenty, and then turn on allow partial stack, and then it will literally just post everything like that, and then your minimum price would be, I guess, depending on how low you really want to go, you could look at, you could maybe take an average here. You can maybe go the average between, take crafting out, DB market and DB region market. Maybe add in the vendor cell as well. I'm not sure we've got enough brackets there. What have we got? 1, 2 there. 1, 2 there. I need to take one of those brackets off, I think. So something like that. The maximum between either a quarter of the average between DB market, DB region market average, and that, or 1.5 times vendor cell. That would work as an operation, I would say. If you want to just throw everything on, that would be the kind of thing as a minimum price, and then when below minimum price, say post at minimum price, and then your maximum, you do a higher percentage of that, say maybe 2 times that and 3 times that, and then normal is some kind of percentage in between the two. That would be my suggestion. Going to be here next Sunday with your average gold over the week. We've fun with those almost 9,000 cards over the week. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you get on that, Drizzling. Let me just, I've missed out loads of chat here, so let me just quickly scroll down. So if you wanted to just collect expires, would you shift click on the expires tab? Yes, that's right, Spite. Good tip to your big mailbox, yeah, definitely. We did that. You clear the cache from WoW, but it can only scrap an empty mailbox sometimes. And if you turn TSM off, it really dies. I can see you use 90% of your memory. Interesting. Make sure match stack size is not enabled. I'll be trying to undercut the options. Oh yes, sorry, you're right, Gumdrops. Allow partial stack is that one. Yeah, that's correct, isn't it? Oh, in terms of match stack size on the posting details on here, this one. Yeah, make sure that's not turned on. Yeah, definitely. Let's do some Sapu pushed memory leak for 10-13 minutes ago. Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. Let me just quickly scroll down. There's loads of stuff I've missed out. First time viewer here. Don't want to bother you guys with a million questions. Is there a place to start or a place to look at the methods of gold making? Well, there's no problem. No question is going to cause a bother, certainly. So if you want to look at places, I would suggest the Reddit is one good place to start with your questions, and the Discord server. Let me just find the link to those below. So if you're on here, the WoW Economy Reddit, I think I might have a which one is it? Do I have a Reddit command? No, I don't have a Reddit one, and the Discord one's from my Discord. So let me just copy the link address in there. And so for the Reddit is the WoW Economy Reddit is a good place to start, and they also have an accompanying Discord server. Here's that one. If you want to learn about TSM, I have a series of YouTube videos all about learning TSM, so that's another option. That was the one you were saying, Commander Bun. You had an intermediate on sniping. What do you mean by intermediate? There we go. Got that. Missed that. Wow, so that happens only with TSM running. Okay. Is there a way to set selling scans to only find items above a set sale rate? I'm not sure, Renault Fox. That's one I haven't tried. It'd be interesting though, if you can. I'm not sure. I remember reading someone's. They made a new string based on some custom size. If we look into, if you do /TSM sources, oh, there we go. So we have a look here. So these are all the different sources that. It's actually. Oh, I did source it. /TSM sources like that. So this is all the things that you can access through TSM, and I believe we've got destroy item level, number of expires, max sell. We do have a DB region sale rate here, so there is probably something you could use there based on DB region sale rate there, or DB region sale average is the average amount there. So I would use something like that in a string perhaps. You could use maybe a if sale rate is greater than 0.5 then do this, or something else. Capilathor, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. And Demonic Worm, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far, or afternoon wherever you are. Let me just move that down over to where Oreo is. Okay. And Stackhot, thank you very much for the follow. Saw a guide on beginner sniping, and there was one more in-depth about preferred percentage for buyout and things like that. That one, Thickstream, thank you very much for the follow. That one I think was the variation on Billisonixia's string, I believe. I think that's the one you were talking about. And Isal, thank you very much for the follow. And Shayra does have a specific sniper guide if you do use Shayra's strings, but Shayra also did do a video on it. I can't remember what it was exactly. Just want to say thanks for the control shift click tips on the post. I didn't know these things. Oh, no problem, Tessa. I was hoping to add a few tidbits of information that isn't often documented, and that was one of the ones that, as I was talking about the mailbox, I thought I'd add that one in. Thank you, Capital. It's very kind of you. And Faunus, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Oh, that's the sniper video. Okay, thank you, Darkwing. Very kind of you to share that one. Yeah, Shara's got some really good videos on it. It's a shame they're not doing gold making anymore. Obim, how are you? Haven't seen me. Ooh, hold on, missed that one. Haven't seen you in a while. Doing great. Having a great time. Have a question. You want to sell your expensive crafted items for 200% of max crafting value. But the problem is, many is in old items, and between them the cheap items. So they would sell for maybe 48 gold because the cost is only 24 gold. Is there a fast way to put up all items over less than, say, 5,000 gold crafting cost out of the group and put it into an empty group? Oh, I'm not sure. There's maybe something you could do with a mailing operation to filter some things out and then do the ones from your bag. I think, maybe. Thomas, how are you? Thank you very much. Zebraka Fassi, thank you very much also for the follow. And thank you very much for the congrats. Very kind of you. You know how to only craft 5,000 plus. Okay, Mushy, how do you do that? I'll be interested. I'm trying to work out how you do it. But you can only list, and you only list 90% of region average. So are you talking about crafting things of a value that are higher than that amount, perhaps? Or whether you do something, do you want to actually put it on a crafting list, or do you want to, let me just reread what you said. Costs 24 gold, fast way to put on any items over, let's say, 5,000 crafting costs out of the group and into an empty group. I'm not sure how you could filter that. If anyone else has any suggestions in chat, feel free to say, but I'm not sure I can think of one at the moment. Kizzy, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. It's a fine evening. We're just going through the WowHead blog at the moment. Now, how far did I get at the moment? So we talked about the mailbox, and then there was another development on the pet posting. He's now got a quantity option on Battle Pets. So if there is anything you notice on the PTR, it's particularly to do with the new auction house, be sure to put feedback in the PTR, and as they're still working on it, your voice will get heard, hopefully. Extreme blunt crafting operation. Oh, right, okay. Well, that's sniper string and how it works. The creator explained it here on Reddit. Oh, yes, that I remember that one. Darkwing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that one. It's hard. I was trying today, but didn't find any solution to it. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Only thing that matters is that it works. Yeah, that's very true. What's the new role thing? It's mainly the WowHead blog. Gumdrops has very kindly handed the reins over to me. So this whole blog here that's on WowHead, the weekly wrap-up that Gumdrops has been doing for the last 99 editions, he's very kindly handed it over to me as he's focusing on his career bits and pieces. You can use the item filter tab. Thank you, Gumdrops. I was hoping you'd be able to come up with something. And so I am taking over doing this. You see, there's me on there. There's a streamception going on at the moment. Let's see if I carry on this. There we go. Streamception happening as we speak. There we go. There's another streamception going in. And another one. How small can we go? There we are. So use the item filter tab. So let's have a look. Since people don't need to undercut, so let's see if we can work this out. We'll do this live on stream. Gumdrops can walk us through it. So if you're talking about a group, how would you do an item filter? Is it actually a group that you set up if you were to make a new one, or is it be something you would search for? What else? Whilst we're waiting for that, there will still be people who undercut. So there are going to be a few since there's no need for it anymore. So minimum restock here, one maximum restock. So set minimum profits is to on, then apply it to the whole group. Ah, right, okay. Bufsky, thank you very much for using your Prime. Incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much for your support. Please have a whole load of emotes for you to use as you will. Thank you indeed. What else have I missed? Hi Sam, how are we doing tonight? I'm doing very well, thank you very much, Bursky. Thank you very much for your support. Really is appreciated. Haven't played any WoW this weekend. I've been busy with the new Diablo season. I did hear that that was out. I saw Quinn was playing it a while ago. I've never really played Diablo. I did buy Diablo 3 when it came out, but I haven't really gotten into it. It was just too much World of Warcraft instead. When you have a group selected, the filter tab can be used to filter by value. X gold, Y gold will show items between those two values. Oh, right, okay. So when you have a group selected, so let's say, let's go on to, I don't know, what have I got as an example? Enchanting mats. So if we were here and we wanted to add something here, so we've got what have we got in my bags at the moment that I could sell? So if we did, so what have we got? Slash X gold and Y gold, which are items between those two values. So show me everything between 1 gold, look at that, and 5 gold. So all those are between 1 gold and 5. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Gumdrops. Now I see. And so then you could make a group of those, but you've got to obviously have them all in your bag. That's pretty cool. I like that. I've never used one like that. But you could make a whole load of things and then say, okay, everything that's over, everything between 1,000 gold and 5,000 gold, and then make a subgroup of that. Also filter by category as well, like armor. Let's try. I don't think I've got any armor. Could you do it by? I don't think a pet would work with it. No, armor. Because I don't have any armor, but that's cool. Thank you, Gumdrops. We have that in a help file on TSM, like the shift click on the mailbox. Yeah, things like that would be handy. We need to compile a lot of this undocumented help bits and pieces. Be definitely good. Checking out. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Just took a look at to the site. Congrats on looking sharp so far. Thank you, Capilethal. Very kind of you to say so. TSM 1001 amazing smart things. It's just hard to find them. Yes, the other one that Gumdrop showed me, which I thought was brilliant, is if you can resize your window. Like, oh, where is it? I just moved it off there. So you can resize your window here, but it only goes to a certain size, and if you're at a low resolution like me, you can't make it any smaller than this. But if you hold shift and click the window to resize, you can actually make it smaller and it will scale down. Obviously it's quite hard to read at smaller sizes, but then you can make windows really small, like that, which is really handy. I did this earlier when I was waiting for Rust Feather, and I put my auctioning window up on the side whilst I was scanning, and then I could still look out for Rust Feather and look at the scan going through at the same time. That's a really handy one. And then you can obviously make it bigger. Just keep shift held down, and it goes back to the main size. There we go. That's documentation on the TSM KB. What's KB? The knowledge base support site. There we go. Oh, we just sold an Accord of Critical Strike. Really cheap price though, 649. Needs a data miner for all the WoW weekly tips. Yeah, that would be good. I'll just keep putting them out as and when I know them. Did I get the mounts, Blem? Are you talking about this mount, the Obsidian Willbreaker? I managed to get it after the last stream, yes. I got into a much better group. No, Rust Feather. Oh no, I didn't get Rust Feather. I only did it once. Bealsman, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Depends on the realms most of the time, or did I miss something earlier? That's all. That's for our materials cheaper on the weekend because more people have time farming them. They can be, and there's generally more people active on the weekend. But sometimes materials are more expensive. Like I find tide spray linen can be quite expensive on the weekend compared to, if I just deselect everything, compared to during the week, I find tide spray linen can be quite expensive because a lot of people are buying it. Did I see that Volpera's got the new racial? 8 more backpack slots makes them able to have 32 slot bags. That would be amazing as a posting hot. Oh, very nice, Drizzling. That would be very nice indeed. Oh, hold on. Coarse leather for 12 copper. I'm just going to buy that. Hold on one moment. Can't have that at that price. There we go. Tide spray linen currently at 6 gold at the moment. I missed a whole lot of things on chat. Ferrigno, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Okay, thanks a lot. God rocks and all. I'll try and look into the stash 5k 1 mil or something, and add items for a new group. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Glad we managed to get that one sorted for you, Adam. Thank you, Gumdrops, on that one. Do you think you'll ever do more streaming in the future, more than once a week? I would love to, Capital Thought. I was, in fact, discussing this with my wife and family. It's something that we would consider in the future, certainly. It's something I would like to do in combination with making the YouTube videos and writing the WowHead blog. It's just a question. I also have a full-time job, and obviously want to spend time with my family too. Corium makes me so happy. JD, thank you very much for the follow. On your server, you won't buy over 1.8 gold. Wow, that's really nice and cheap. I wish I could get it that cheap. 4.8.2 is what I'm on at the moment. I'm guessing it is, unless there's been an update whilst I've been live. Speaking of which, let me just double check that I've gone through everything on the WowHead blog. So we talked about the mailbox coming up, and then we talked about the shift click and all that bit, and we talked about the pet post changings. We did jump ahead about this earlier, but things coming up ahead is Pilgrim's Bounty event. Starts, I believe, is it today it starts, or tomorrow? Monday it starts. Pilgrim's Bounty begins. Time to reflect upon one's good fortune and share with all. And there's a particular buff in that that's going to be useful, which gives you an extra reputation buff, which will also stack the Spirit of Sharing buff. This one increases reputation gain by 10%. So that will stack with the anniversary event as well. So that's going to be really handy if you want to get any missing reputations you haven't got yet. And then obviously, as we spoke about earlier, the comp stomp's coming on whichever reset day, 26th or 27th it is for you. And then, yeah, the B mount, yeah, it would be good for that, for the reputation on that one. I haven't got that one yet. So the Brutosaur mount is not going to be available soon. It would depend on how you define soon, Adrenocide. You have until Shadowlands gets released. So we're talking about up to maybe a year before it happens. Because talk on the town is that it's going to be later than BFA got released. So you're probably talking, at a rough guess, sometime between August and December in 2020. But we don't know exactly when. So if you do want to save up for it, you need to save about 20,000 gold a day, and you'll still be able to get it even if you've got no gold right now. We'll also have 1 day of the Dark Moon Fair buff with the Pilgrim Bounty and the Anniversary buff. Yes, you will, won't you? Because Dark Moon Fair just happens on the end here. So the Pilgrim's Bounty ends there. But on Sunday, so next Sunday the 1st, is going to be a really good day for getting reputation. $20k a day, and I do 20k a week. Yeah, that is the thing, Jake. It can start off like that, certainly. It all depends on what you can do, but if you can build up on what you're already doing for 20k a week, and then if you can spread out over more characters and double down on the things that work well for you, then you can turn that 20k into 100k. So just a plus 10 boost a day. Yep, that would be one option if you do offer boosts. Wait, why is next Sunday perfect for Ret? Because you will have you've got the WoW anniversary event, which is an extra 15% to reputation. You've got the Pilgrim's Bounty, which will give you another 10% if you've got the, I don't know exactly how you get it, but the Spirit of Sharing buff, if you've got that one active, that lasts an hour, so that's another 10%. And then you've got the Dark Moon Fair buff, which I believe is another 10% as well. I've got the beta version. Oh, okay, that would explain it. Thanks, Camdrops. You made almost 100k today, so if you wanted a second Brutosaur, sure you could do it. Definitely. Always have one for each foot, why not? Try and do your emissaries on each day. You can the extra caches when exalted and nice gold. Yeah, it's a good idea, Spirit Wolf. I'm not actually at exalted with everyone yet, so that's something I do need to work on with Samadan. It's kind of taken a second fiddle to all my other things I want to do at the moment. but that's definitely an idea, getting the caches for those. Do what that's in Diablo. That's a bunch of gold too. And Diablo 4, there's a bunch of gold. Yeah, so in fact, the good thing being able to spend your tokens on other games, is other Blizzard games, is really, really nice. That's why I like carry on making gold, certainly. I get from doing the table quest by sharing all the food on the table. Okay, thank you, Annette, and hi as well. Hi to you, and thank you for your advice. Thank you. And you have like 10 Paragon boxes to open, so that's like 30k. Wow, fantastic. Oh, you said it as well. That's been BDX. You share the food around the table. Okay. Try and do emissaries if you can. Yeah, we got that one. We did that. So the Paragon boxes are, once you've got your reputation to Exalted, and then you get it to another level of Exalted, like I have here on Legion, then you can carry on earning reputation, and then once you fill it up again with the, like in this case, 10,000 rep requirement, you get a cache at the end of it, which gives you even more. So it is really handy. Mounts, pet gold, and extra rep, so it's all sorts of different things. Meatbone, thank you very much for the follow. You have 19,999 with 3 factions. Good for next patch grind. Yeah, definitely. You started doing your dailies for Netherwing Skyguard and Ogrilar. Is that alright? How long does it take you to do those, Mushy? So let me just finish up here. More than an hour. Oh, okay, that's Outland. Is it possible to do a crafting queue with enchants on vellums? You have to click the enchant vellum button all the time. No, it should automatically do it into vellums on TSM. If you're using the TSM interface when you're making wrong window, when you're making enchants, you should automatically make them into vellums as long as you've got the vellums in your bag. Don't put them in your bank because TSM won't be able to do it from there. Make sure that the enchanting vellums are in your bag, and then whenever you make something like, say for example, if I queue up one of these, oh, I don't actually have any veiled crystals for it, so that's probably a bad example. Let's say if I did Galterian Herbalism, let's queue one of those up, and then I click it here in the crafting queue, it will automatically, because you've got the enchant vellum here, you've also got enchant gloves here, so it'll automatically pop it onto a vellum there for you. You're going to boost Mythic Plus for gold as well for a time, being on your DM Hunter until you get your Brutosaur. Yep, do whichever is fun for you to make gold, or whatever is fun to you to just enjoy the game. I always suggest that. Also, cooking daily for the missing recipes and for the Eternals for Sunwells. It takes all day. Wow, okay. All the things is a massive time investment. I really do admire yourself and Kuhn for carrying on with that one. But does that work if you queue as well? If you queue too? Yes, it should do. Then having to log over to your Enchanter and scribe every hour isn't making it go faster. Yes, there's so much to do in WoW, certainly. But it's all good fun as long as you enjoy it. Speaking of which, let me just double check that I've done everything. So that's me pretty much done on the blog, I believe. So if you are watching and you are do have any more questions, if you are on the blog, feel free to click through and come say hello, and we will go and do a little bit of gold making. I'll probably go and have a look at my mailboxes first, see if we can round up the gold we've made today. I did have a check of everything earlier, but I haven't seen what we've earned today, so we'll go and have a look at that. You're trying to get the Law Walker achievement. Well, that's a good one to go for. That can be done with all the things as well, can't it? Then having to we've done that one as well. Okay, let me just finish that off. Okay, so let's go have a look at... you got Lawmaster Outland today. Oh, congratulations. That's another good one to have. Right, so let's have a look at our mailbox on Samadan. Let's start with that. So I'll have a look. We did see this earlier. We did buy that coarse leather for 12 copper, so that will go over to Earthen, my leather worker. So things that have sold today. Now it's very interesting to note that a lot of these enchants have gone down in value since I was making lots of gold. They used to be over 1,000 gold, but now they are quite regularly under 1,000 gold, so my profit margins have been squeezed on enchants, but I'm getting a few sales. So what have we got? Oh, there's nothing else in there. So it's just 23 mail, so it's mainly a Quartz of Haste, a bit of food, a little bit of tailoring, so a good split of all the different things. So that's 12,000 gold on my main one. Am I planning to continue with the classic gold making, or am I mainly back to retail? I would like to keep doing classic, Thomas. I'm very nearly. I've been leveling off stream, and I'm very nearly level 35. So what I'm going to do next is, once I've got to level 35, I'm going to try and maximise out my professions, and we'll do a little bit more on that. We did do a bit of classic last week. If I have a bit of time tonight, I might do a bit more. We'll see how things go with my other characters first, because we've got quite a few things to go through first. Restocking and checking all the characters' mailboxes, and I would like to do a little bit on Stabadan and get another couple of professions going as well. Yeah, it's a pain if you ever miss a quest. Yeah, that's the main problem, isn't it? You need something to guide you through it. Carfotil, thank you very much, Stockmar. Hope you're doing all right. And Sayrem, sorry. Thank you very much for the follow. So, talking about sort of like, say you're wanting to make 20,000 a day as a target, we have made with enchants and food and a little bit of tailoring 12,000 on this one character, but I'm going to have a look at my other characters as well. So we've got 12,000 on Samadan, and then let's go over. I won't do any restocks now on him yet because I did that earlier. Jeannie, thank you very much for the follow. But let's go over to my next character, my Alchemist, and we'll have a look at the mailbox there. And we'll take it from there. So, awakening my Alchemist. Do I have any tips for people on Hypop servers where enchanting and cooking are highly competitive markets? The main thing there is, and DK Man, thank you for stopping by. The main thing really is volume. If you can get a good volume of items on there, and making sure that you can get your materials cheaply enough so your profit margins are okay. And then I would suggest post little and often. So post, especially when it's busy, post a few items. Say you have 20 enchants on you, only post them at 5 at a time, so that the next person that undercuts you, you're ready with the next 5, and then rinse and repeat, and so you can spread your auctions over a Hypop server. Last week my Alchemist did a big gold jump. He did indeed. We don't have much luck with the Silas proc of late, so we will have to check in on that, because I've run out of a lot of my potions. Oh, right one too, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely week so far. Do you have any educated guesses on WoW token price on Shadowlands launch? Since Legion launch, it skyrocketed. BFA launch, it dropped by half its price. Let's unsure if you should invest your gold or save up. I don't know. Alchemy is a non-existent profession. It is when you don't have a Silas proc. I haven't had much luck lately. Literally 12 times today and nothing. Ouch. I haven't done it yet. I did it earlier today and I didn't get the buff. I'll have a look at the mailbox first. I know it's fairly reasonable. So another 12,000 here. So potion of agility, deception, undertow, healing and unbridled fury. So 24,000 if we take alchemy and enchanting and stuff. So if we were going for that 20k target, we've made it already on a day like today. Not every day will be as good as this, but it's kind of indicative of where I'm at with my professions. While Rasheen and Sensor were present, that cursed my proc. Exactly, it probably did. Well, token tanked on Legion launch because they removed the class order hall gold missions. They removed the class order hall gold missions. Tanked on Legion launch, or do you mean BFA launch? I can't remember because you did have the gold missions then, and then people needed gold, and so they had to buy it all up. Yeah, BFA launch. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it was interesting. I wonder what will happen because there isn't any really good passive gold making in BFA. I wonder if it'll go up or down. It'll be nice if it went down. Mastina Prasika, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Let's open up this 12,000 and see if we can get ourselves a Silas proc, because my auctions are looking quite slim at the moment on the alchemy front. Do I think Battle-Scarred Augment Runes going to rise when 8.3 hits, even though the Endless one is offered for 50k at Revered Rep? Potentially. It's not a market I've really followed myself. I remember when I used to sell them, they used to sell quite regularly, but that was back in Legion. It can make quite a big from reaching 70 neck and doing missions and World Quest. Oh yes, that's right, can't you, Igne? You can you get gold now once you've got your level 70 neck, because it's kind of maxed out. I'm at neck level 55 on Samadan, so I'm a long way off that. See, we still bought lots of runes in Legion, even when the 50k one came out. Yeah, so that's good to know. So at least you can get a few sales of it. I think the 50k one is pretty expensive, really. BFA will go on sale during Black Friday. Think about setting up another account or two. I reckon there's a good chance of it. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. I hope it does. Right, let's have a look. Do we get a Silas proc? It'd be nice if we did. Not today. Silas Stone of Transportation. Maybe we can come back in an hour and have a look. We don't have that many auctions on at the moment from looking at... Where are we at? We have one sale here of Greater Flask of the Undertow coming through. Wrong game. And then we do have a few potions on, but I do need to restock on my potions. So that's definitely one for trying to get the proc, hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, how much do I think it will go on sale during Black Friday? Think about setting up another account. How much? I don't know. What would be reasonable? Say 20% off, I guess. Anyone know if you can just level Vanilla Alchemy to 75 and then take Transmute Master? Do you need a higher one maxed out? Vanilla Alchemy goes up to 300, and you need to have Vanilla Alchemy at 300 before the quest is offered to you. And that's so. I think you need. What is it you need? You need Kata. Is it Kata Alchemy at 75? I can't remember which one does the Transmute Mastery. You just got Prosperity and you don't have the herbs ready. Oh dear, you used it because I mentioned it. That's Pandaria. Thank you, Mushi. I knew it was one of the ones. It's Mr. Pandaria. Okay, so it's So you have your Pandaria maxed out, but you also need your Vanilla maxed out, because I remember doing it on El Morte. We did that on stream way back when. And Jack is the master of alchemy. Me and Mushy were talking last stream, Jack. We were missing your website, because we really could do with working out the Pandaria price of the Spirit of Harmony and the Trillium and everything like that. X-Master. Yeah, definitely. When Classic came out, BFA was on for half price. Was it really? Well, it'd be nice if there was a half price Black Friday one for that. Hectic, thank you very much for the TSM guys. Really helped you and appreciate it. You're more than welcome. If you do have any questions, be sure to shout them out in chat. Now your website is some sort of gold sales website. Someone took your name. Oh, really? On 5 accounts, it's going to be some farming. Yeah, that's a lot for 5 accounts. Definitely. What did I miss? They said they want to keep flying with Pathfinder for Shadowlands, so I'm going to try and fill up one of your guild bank tabs with Goblin Gliders for launch. Lazy people played like 30 gold in order for BFA launch, and you also gave you mats. Yeah, the Goblin Gliders will be a good one for Shadowlands, because they have confirmed they're going to keep the same system, haven't they? Any advice to get the long boy? You have 2.5 million. Oh, fantastic! You're halfway there. So keep doing what you're doing, and things that are working well for you, double down on those. Do more of that. And as Drizzling said, try not to use too much gold. Try not to spend it. That's the other big one. Right, let's pop over to our characters, check our other mailboxes whilst we're here. So Irfan, my leather worker, we'll have a quick check here and check his mailbox. So we're currently sitting at 24,000 for today. Minimise the effort and maximise the profit. Yeah. Buy low, sell high. All those kind of things, really. Got Oreo fast asleep next to me at the moment. Alright, so... now we can't check Irfan's gold at the moment because his mailbox is completely full of Tide Spray linen that we need to scrap. So I can't actually have a look at what's beyond here. I've got 160 mail. I made 1,900 braces earlier, and I've still got to process all of these. I've already done the blues, so these are all greens that need to be scrapped now. So I won't be able to check the rest of the gold on Irfan. I don't think it's a huge amount. Buy horse sell meat. No, not for Jack, certainly. Mr. Lisi 96PL, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So I'll leave Irfan for the moment, and let's check my other alchemist, my transmute master. You got the gold makers shouting at you. As an example, you have 4 alts in this that you did daily cooldown crafting on, and double down on that method. Now in BFA you have 33 alts to do daily crafting on, and you make 3 to 7 WoW tokens per month. Exactly as Drizzling said. Find the things that works. Just checking you're paying attention. So miss posting Jack horse pics. Yes, I know. I'm too poor to pay attention. Oh, yes, we do miss kicking the odd fish around with Jack on stream. The good old days. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got. So this character is just doing the transmutes in Mr. Pandaria. Speaking of which, we've got some sales of living steel. So 14,000 for the stack of 10 and 5,000 for the stack of 4, and we've sold some Sun's Radiance. So another 21,000 on here, so that's a total of about 44,000, 43,000, not counting my leather worker. So all in all, I would say that's pretty successful. So we will need to restock on some more living steel. I think I have, if memory serves, I've got some ghost iron I need to... Did I have some ghost iron that I need to work on? It looks like I might have made it all into... Let me just see what I've got here. Let's clear the queue on this. What have we got? I can do Wild Jade, Trillium Bars. I don't have any Ghost Iron bars. Do I have any Ghost Iron ores? No, I don't have any Ghost Iron ores on me either. So I'll go and buy some, I think. Let me just check the prices on everything. Not too poor to get loads of love. Oh, exactly. The only problem is you have to get the rank 3 recipes on your alts. Yeah, getting the rank 3s is tricky, depending on which rank 3s you need. If you can just focus on them, especially with all the reputation buffs that are going on next week, especially next Sunday, it shouldn't be too bad if there's ones you're missing. Right, let's start with the restocking on here. Let's do this first. So let's just go for a quick shopping scan. So we've got 151,000 on this character, which is fairly reasonable. Do you anyone know if you can use WoW tokens on a recruit a friend account to get the Explorer Mog reward? Yes, I believe you can. You don't need another Battle.net account. I remember Gumdrops covered this when he did it on his blog. So you should be able to use your battle token to do it. So use your gold to then recruit yourself as the friend. Do you suggest always look for materials for crafting, old on you, or sell it? That you always look to use the materials for crafting, or sell it. What do you mean? I'm not quite sure I follow that one. Good evening, Mr. Honkit. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely week so far. Thanks ever so much, Stuff Mai. So what have we got? I've already bought a few things. Now these Pandarian garnets are actually being sold by my son, so I'm going to buy those, as they're underpriced anyway, from my market average buy price. I'll always need some. And then we shall also have a look at Spirits of Harmony. Ideally I'd like something around 150 gold. Motes of Harmony are 18, so that's 180 gold. You can just recruit yourself on your own email. Okay, thank you, Faunus. It's working on Recruit Friend Rewards right now on an alt account on the same Battle.net. Works great. Okay, fantastic. That's good to know. I'm tempted to do it myself. 18 tokens of game time per year per Battle.net. I think it's not that good. And you always try to use materials that you get or farm for crafting, or sell it as it is. Maybe a mix of both. It depends on the material. If you can use it to make something that sells for more, do that. But if you've got more than you can make and you've got a surplus, then sell the surplus as well. Gezoyuti. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but thank you very much for the follow. Does it work on someone that hasn't played in a while, or only new accounts? It's either someone who's been inactive for something like, is it 2 years, or a brand new account. So for instance, Oreo's disappeared, so I'll just turn his camera off for the moment. There we go. Haven't played for 2 expansions or years, and you can recruit them. Yeah, it is 2 years. Okay, so not much to buy here. So I'm going to use up some. I have an excess of Spirit of Harmony here. I've still got 300 Spirit of Harmony, plus another 15 Motes of Harmony that can be turned in there. WoW token a month game time. 15 US dollars, not sure EU. It's 13 euros or $9.99 in UK price. And there's a lot of new names on the auction house this weekend. Must be a lot of people going for them out. I reckon so, Adriana. Rasheen was saying this, that she was getting a lot more feedback from the auction house. So I suspect you're probably right. So we're going to have to buy some ghost iron ore, because the price of it on the auction house is way too high at 25 gold. So I'm going to go for 400, I think. Do I not have enough for 400? I should have. Let's try 200 again. There we go, another 200. Let's do another 200. There we go. That should keep me. And I'll smelt this into ghost iron bars. Feedback. I was trying to think of a polite way of saying it, Rasheen. And then we will go to smelt and smelt our ghost iron. And we'll just leave this running for a moment, then I can just focus on chat for a little while whilst that goes on. EU token only dropped 10k, so not that many selling them because of the Brutosaur. For context, increased 80k on BlizzCon opening day. Yeah, BlizzCon really did push it up really high, didn't it? Is that Dr. Sound or DR Sound? Thank you very much for the using your Prime. Thank you very much indeed for your support. Really is appreciated. Let's see a whole load of emotes in the chat for you. Thank you very much indeed. Would you all say that skinning and leatherworking is a decent way for gold? I would say so. I still sell quite a few notorious bits of gear on my leatherworker, as well as Drums of Fury, my main sellers with leatherworking. When 8.3 comes out, there'll be the new gear, the Uncanny gear. So if you've got enough marks of honour to get that cheaply, then I would suggest doing that. Formula 1's great since easy to understand. Whoever crosses the first line after X rounds wins. Oh yeah, we were talking about Formula E, wasn't it? Formula 1, but electric engines. I've not seen any of the Formula E stuff. How does it differ from Formula 1? Don't watch Formula E. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I haven't really watched any Formula 1 in many, many years. So the main thing we're doing here, because I got my Spirit of Harmony relatively cheap at about 150 gold per Spirit of Harmony, we're using that to buy Ghost Iron ore. We're then smelting that into Ghost Iron bars, and then we're going to transmute that into Trillium bars, and then we're going to use a mix of Ghost Iron, Trillium bars and Spirit of Harmony to make living steel, and we're going to sell the living steel. So that's the focus on what we're doing at the moment. Make a left turn, make another left turn, repeat. Oh right, okay. Spirit of Harmony is always like 50 gold on your server. Oh, interesting. So relatively, look at the price of Ghost Iron ore, look at the price of Trillium bars, and look at the price of living steel. And if you had Jack's website, you'd be able to work out which is the best way to do that. Best way to get profit from there. Coraline, thank you very much for using your Prime for 4 months. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your support. Really is appreciated. Let's pop a whole load of emotes in the chat for you. Thank you very much indeed. You're literally doing the same thing Gumdrops was doing the first time you turned in his stream. Well, if it works, then it works definitely. Just scroll up, see what I missed on the chat. Don't watch that. Newbie here, what's the deal with junk items? Sometimes they'll have a crazy auction house prices. They use them other than translog. Most of the time it could be someone just artificially inflating the price. Most of the time I simply just vendor them. Unless it's something specific that I know is used elsewhere, but most of the time it's not. It's 2 days, people can vote, and the 5 drivers get a fan boost of 5. Fan boost? That seems very strange. Some parts of the track they get speed boosts. Very strange indeed. Where'd you get the PvP Comp Stomp quest you mentioned an hour ago? You don't PvP, so you need the Mark of Honor. So the Comp Stomp quest, you can get, I think it's, is it Shift J you press, and it brings up that window. I can't remember. I won't do it whilst I'm doing the smelt Ghost Iron. Or if you're Alliance, you speak to the Tortollan that's outside of the Snug Harbour Inn. He will offer the quest for you directly. What else did I miss? And what are we doing today, Coraline? We are going through, and we're currently just on my Transmute Alchemist at the moment. We're turning Ghost Iron that we bought with Spirit of Harmony into Trillium bars eventually, which we're then going to turn into Living Steel. Do you know the add-on Worth It? It has a flipping function where you can see what items gives profit and what items that don't from Spirit of Harmony based on the market value. Yes, that's the one by Dala GG, wasn't it? I haven't looked at it myself. I know Gumdrops mentioned it. Is it a weekly event quest? Yes, you can only do it once per brawl. but every brawl that you win, not every one you win, but every time you complete the requirements of the quest, you'll get 5 marks of honour, so it's really worth it. Adventure guide, thank you, Blem. Yeah, so it is Shift J. But I haven't checked worth it. But if it does do what we're looking at here, it would be certainly worth looking into. Doesn't Lazy Goldmaker or Gold Queen don't have something on their website to do the living still calculations? They might well do. I'll check out Lazy Goldmaker. I'm sure they've probably got one. You just posted some Spirit of Harmony, clearing bank space, undercutting, at 229 on your server. That's a decent price. If you can sell some for that price, that'd be pretty good. Read them earlier, even though you didn't get rewards, so you wonder. Oh right, was that recruit a friend bits, was it? Okay. Are raids dungeons the best way to increase your eye level of your gear? Sorry if it's a newbie question. No, there's no newbie questions here, and we're all learning. So I would say so. If I looked at Samadan earlier, and one of the Eternal Palace LFR wings looked to be the best way for me to upgrade my gear, or doing, I guess, if you could do some Mythic Plus, like get a Mythic Plus 10, you could probably boost your gear that way. What's the best way to get Blood of Sargeras? You want to create the Blacksmith Mount. Looking out for the world quests that offer 10 is a good start, certainly. I don't know if there's any Order Hall missions now for Blood of Sargeras. But that's how I used to get my Blood of Sargeras. I don't know if that's enough for you in one go, though. And the shoulder enchant. What was the shoulder enchant for? Did I miss something earlier? Oh yeah, it doesn't need living still collections. Herbing, mining, and world quests. Can you get Blood of Sargeras through doing herbalism and mining? I didn't realise that. Oh yes, the blood enchant. Yes, I remember. There was a the shoulder enchant for increased blood. I don't think it actually was very high, but it would help on your first few kills. Yes, I remember now. Yes, Jack. I did have that on Samadan. There are Order Hall missions still, but they are quite expensive. Oh, okay. Oh, you do get one with definitely herbing. Oh, I didn't realise that. I didn't do much herbalism, other than the odd seed raid with Jack back in Legion. That was fun. Right, we're nearly done with this one. You can also buy it with Order Hall resources. 1,000 resources for 1 blood, Sargeras. Yeah, the seed raid was brilliant. I wish they did more stuff like that in BFA. Procced once per hour, 1 to 5 bloods in the cache. Yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it, Sensors? It procced early and then it didn't proc again for a while. I've no idea, Jack. I've not looked into it. I guess it depends on how many people are doing it. So we've made our Ghost Iron bars. We now need to transmute those into Trillium. So our Ghost Iron bars are now going to turn into Trillium bars. So I'm going to make all of these. Now because I'm a transmute master, I've got a chance of a proc. And look at that. I've got a ×5 proc on my Trillium bars. That's brilliant. So we'll keep going through. Oh, you mean flipping the seeds? I don't know. It'll be interesting to have a look at. Matsalui, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. We're just going through and making some Trillium bars. And then after this, we're going to make some riddles of steel to make ourselves some living steel. Love your videos, very useful. Oh, I'm glad you found them useful. I'm happy to help. If you do have any questions, be sure to shout them out in chat. More than happy, or myself or anyone else in the chat will be able to answer. So we could make 30 Trillium bars, but we actually got 39 Trillium bars out of that. So we're now going to go and do the Riddle of Steel. We've got 39 Trillium bars, still got 266 Spirits of Harmony, and so this is going to give me my living steel. Now hopefully I'll get some procs of this as well. Let's see what we get. Going to go to sleep. Have a great night. Well, thank you ever so much for hanging out for us. Have a great evening, and hope to see you again soon. And Annette, thank you very much for using for your Prime for 6 months. Thank you very much for your support. Really is appreciated. Thank you, Annette. And Terra Liu, thank you very much for the follow. What else am I missing out here? To go that, so on her saved on videos, that. Your prediction is 18 living steel, is it? Well, we had 2 procs of 2, so not as many, unfortunately. So we did get ourselves, we have 15 in our bags of living steel, so that's not too bad. First get Benthic gear, do Najitar quest till you get 35 neck for weapon. Then Warfront trinket 400. Auction house, it's relatively cheap. World class or weapon. Ring and trinket. When you hit 380, do LFR and the event raid. Hopefully that will get you high enough to get into a normal raid. Well, that's a good tactic, certainly. I'm about 380, 390 with most of my characters. And it was very easy to get up to 380, certainly was on Stabadan. Right, which direction am I facing? Where's it out? Let's go this way. And let's have a look. So our living steel we're now going to post on. Let me just head out here to my Brutosaur. What do you think will happen? Trying to learn some gold tips. Meanwhile, progressing mythic and so cool. Very nice. What do you think will happen in 9.0 when it comes to the relevancy of old world professions? You think all of them will still scale 10 to 50? There'll be new items, good for twinking and leveling. We don't know yet, but it's worth keeping an eye out, because I'm sure those that do like to do sort of like the twinking and min-maxing of certain level brackets, there will be certain things that will come out better. So I certainly wouldn't discount all the old world stuff, certainly. Need to do an alt for rank 3s. So much to do on alts, definitely. So let's just go through and post on our living steel. So we're doing a stack of 10 and a stack of 4, and we'll also do a single one. No, we won't. We'll just do the stack of 4, and then a few other bits and pieces. We'll post those on. Hopefully get some sales with that. Hope it creates a bunch of new markets. It will be nice. It's all going to change, so maybe it would be worth looking at the PTR when it comes out and just trying to see what enchants are going to work best at certain brackets, if they change at all. Because I know I certainly sell quite a few of my old world enchants still. The expensive mats in returning to the auction house, yeah, that would be nice as well. The ones with the stupidly high deposit costs at the moment. You hit 120 on your priest Friday and was 400 by the Saturday evening doing Mythic Dungeon and soloing stuff. Had a normal raid that evening and got a 412 after 6 bosses, mainly trades in raids because most people were overgeared. Wow, well that's a good example of how to gear up quickly. So you want to get 250 tailoring and enchanting and the tools. Yeah, you definitely need to get those. Fat Matt Rise, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks ever so much for stopping by. Corium, Primals, and the Cobra Scales. Yeah, those kind of things. I don't think I've posted any of those myself, simply because the auction house prices, deposit fees are too high for single items. So I think I'm done with El Morte. Let's move back. Let's think about what other character we're going to do. Operation I use for living steel. Or let's just pop back, I'll show you. So this was based off of Jack's advice, doing a stack of 10 and a stack of 4. So I have a couple of different ones. Veil Crystals versus Umbra Shards. Yeah, Umbra Shards are just so expensive to post compared to Veil Crystals. It just doesn't make sense. So let's have a look at my posting operation. I do have these all in a paste bin. If you ever want to look at anything that I do post with, all my paste bins for all my different characters are available there, so you're more than welcome to take a look, import them into a fresh profile or your own profile and have a look, and pick apart whichever pieces you think might be useful. So my living steel, just got living steel in it, and I've got two auctioning operations, one for living steel in 10s and one for living steel in 4s. And then the 10s, so we have a post capture 3 and post stack size of 10, so up to 3 stacks of 10. Allow partial stackers obviously turn off for that case. And then the minimum price is 110% crafting. The normal price is the maximum between either 200% crafting or 150% of the DB region market average, and then the maximum price is 500% of the DB region market average. And then my living steel 4s, if you look at that one, it should be the same, except the post cap is 2 and the stack size is 4. I have allowed partial stacks, so if I've got less than 4, it will post them. And then it's got the same operations here of 110% crafting, 500% DB region market average, and max of 200% crafting or 150% DB region market. I'll copy those into the chat so you can take a look at them if you want them. So minimum is 110% crafting, maximum is 500% DB region market average, and normal is maximum of either 200% crafting or 150% DB region market average. Steam Cage, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You got loads of Umbra Shards saved up for 8.2. Yeah, I've got absolutely lots myself. I try and sell it, but the price has really tanked on my server. Let me just scroll up, see what else I've missed. There we go, Pastebin. Umbra Shards would be a lot easier to sell. You sell like stacks of 25, 50 and 200. Not worth selling singles, even though a decent chunk would sell. Yes, exactly. I would like to sell more Umbra Shards, certainly. What do I do with the excess Umbra Shard? At the moment, if I've got a huge excess of them, I will make the Honourable Scepter with enchanting. So I turn the Umbra Shards into veiled crystals. That way it's not as cost effective as doing the Bracer Shuffle, but as I've got so much Umbra Shards, if I can't sell them, I turn them into wands that then I can turn into veiled crystals. But the problem is you do need to use Expulsum for it, so it's not quite so easy. Wait to sell another stack of 200 later. Yeah, pretty much. Why 48 hours instead of 24? Simply because I don't always get on my characters every single day, so I just tend to, with my server being kind of medium pop, it's quite slow moving with some items. So for me, I just go with the 48 hour, simply because I'm not on that frequently. If I was on more frequently, then I would set it to 24. Yeah, as Kind Sar said. I got that, did that. Just your investment you showed you pays off really good. Oh, fantastic, Steam Cage. That's good to know. I can't remember your investment, but that's good to know it's worked. You don't want more than 1,000 Umbra in your bank. Yeah, that's the main thing. You've got 18,000 saved up. 8.3 can't come soon enough. Yeah, I've got quite a lot. I don't think I've got quite that many, but I certainly have quite a few. I will have a look, actually. What we could possibly do. I know it's not necessarily as interesting, but I would like to get rid of some of those bracers on Earthen. I wonder how long it'll take me to scrap a few of these. I'll have a quick look. I won't do a huge amount, seeing as there's other things we could be doing. We still haven't looked at Stabadan and a new profession on that point. That's something worth doing. But I want to do a few of these whilst I'm here. So in terms of bag space, I've got a few different pieces here. So let's just fill up with bracers first. Let's open up these. And then we'll see what we can do with a whole bag full of this and see if we can get some Expulsum this way. The problem with Baralas, it's a little bit laggier, so it does go quite slowly. I need to get to that scrapper on the other side of the continent. Need to unlock that mission. I got a really good shuffle deal, and we'll burn through them eventually. Yeah, if you get a good deal, it's hard to pass up on it. Certainly. Just got the B mount. Oh, fantastic! Congratulations, Glenn. I haven't even tried the B mount myself yet. It does require a fair amount of grinding, doesn't it? But congratulations. And thank you, Osty the Gnome, for the follow. Welcome on board. Hope you're doing well. Let's put a load of bits and pieces in the chat. As grats to your B mount. Right, so I'm going to go and just clear out a couple of things into my bank whilst I'm here. Just so that I've got the bag space to do the scrap properly. Here will do fine. So let's just pop in the bloodstained bone, coarse leather, dredged leather. These could go in my reagent bank, but I'm just literally going to pop them in here for now, because I can craft from my bank. That gives me a bit more space, and then we'll head on over to the scrapper. What else do we miss here? Actually, I'll go check chat once I've set up the scrapper going. Then I'll scroll back up. Just going to scrap a number of braces here. So I'm using Easy Scrap add-on. Let's queue up all of this. Just let that go, and then I can catch up. Can you buy Nejdar gear tokens on your leather main and send them to a cloth alt? Yeah, the benthic armor is just generic benthic armor, so you can send it across to other characters, because I got benthic armor on Samadan, my cloth wearer, and would send it to my leather wearers, and they would, when they convert it, they can turn it into whichever's appropriate for them. Suggest killing Honey Smasher every day for the 500 rep. Since once you hit revered, you can buy an item for tracking honey, or you can just buy the honey. Oh, okay. So not too bad then, if you could just do it daily. Just absolutely not looking forward to crafting and scrapping. 2,500 braces. Yeah, it's the scrapping that takes a while, really, because you can only do them in chunks of 9. Leveling a multi-box team, slow questing. Is it indeed, Binary? But if it does, it can be done quickly. Once revered by the goggles, once you can see all the spawn of honey, and after that it's quick. Okay, so it accelerates as you go on. Thanks, Game Caca. I actually didn't think of this until you saw the dreaded scrapper pop up. What do you think? Hope they'll do for systems in Shadowlands. I hope they don't do something like the scrapper. That would be unfortunate. And then Obliterum wasn't much good in Legion either, but that wasn't quite so vital to the whole process. It's only because this was the only way of getting Expulsum. I don't know. I'm sure they'll probably have a system like this. Yes, like Rasheen said, I think we are going to get something like the scrapper because of punishment. But what would be nice is if they had a method for doing mass amounts of it. That would be the one thing, because you're limited by this window here. I would like to have this window not limited by the slots here, and to be able to mass scrap. Scrapmaster. Oh yes, the little thing that Billis made. I haven't used it myself. What does it remind me again? Right, 1, 2. What does it do? We team up with someone who has the goggles and they can fly to you. Oh, that's a good idea. Because punishment, yeah. Doing Undersea Usurper next for the Snapback Scuttler. Oh, that should be good. That's a really nice looking crab. Problem is... Oh, I missed something. Oh, the whole chat's going on, hold on. More slots or instant for a 3x3. Yeah. You prefer Scrapmaster over Easy Scrap? Okay. Pretty much the same. Add items to not scrap. Click to fill to scrap. Okay. Same, you've been using Scrapmaster as well. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll have to make a note to do that. I'd like items to upgrade and ones who already do at each patch. but Expulsum is boring, and Blissrum was better, but it's boring too. Yeah, it would be. It's because it's this whole bind-on pickup mechanic that makes it difficult, because you've got to do it on that character that needs it. Maybe they could do something that's more bind-on account. That might be useful. Macro fill and scrap without all the glowy wowy stuff from Easy Scrap, and it keeps track in the background of data. Oh yeah, so that I remember it doing that, certainly. Yeah, being bind-on pickup kills it, because then we had this with Blood of Sargeras. You'd have some characters that had loads of Blood of Sargeras, and then some characters that had hardly any, and it'd be nice to be able to transfer them between your characters. Is there a negative or positives to having alt characters in the opposing faction? Not necessarily. I mean, my druid, Awakening, was originally a troll. I'm very tempted to put him back as a troll, because the advantage I would say is just from a story perspective, especially in BFA, is being able to do both different sides. Because the auction houses are combined, you're selling to everyone anyway. But that said, there is a chance for some things, like the PvP gear is faction specific, so you could only sell that to your faction side. So there's also that to bear in mind. But the only problem, obviously, is you can't transfer gold easily between characters. Yeah, all the sinister stuff is faction specific as well, isn't it? What did I miss there? Background data. Negative, so remember that. Did that, definitely. Scribing, gear making, not something binding on account would be the better answer. Yeah, I think so. Just looked into the Enchant Sorcerer Scepter Shuffle, and it's actually pretty even, which is great, because now you can be able to off some Umbra early. Yeah, it's definitely worth doing if you have an excess of Umbra, certainly. You still have to click scrap every 9 items, okay. But you can use CKS as Rasheen suggests. You can do it in the background, so if you move your mouse, then that would work. Sending the scrap command. Right, did I send everything over? That should have sent my Tide Spray to Samadan. Let's just reopen that up again. Groups, send. Now that hasn't sent, unfortunately. Let's try that manually. There we go. Send that to Samadan. Okay, don't know why that didn't work. Maybe a reload would work. Okay, we'll head on back. Meat Shield, thank you very much for the follow. Right, let's try another load of scraps. Let that run through whilst I can follow the chat. Use the Umbra mostly if you can get. Could not cheaply make the last step to Veiled. Yeah, it should, but it didn't. Yeah, it should have worked. TSM mailing sometimes ignore cloths when you try to mail things with an operation. Might be what's happening to you. It could be. It could be something like that. It's not an error I've had all the time, but TSM does occasionally bug out like that. Just a nobody. Thank you very much for the follow. You're certainly not a nobody here. Welcome on board. Hope you're doing well. We're just going through and scrapping some braces at the moment to make some Expulsum, which will then turn into probably honourable or sinister braces that we can then turn into veiled crystals. We don't really need this right now, but we're thinking of this for the future. Just whilst we can carry on and follow at the moment. And Quaileth, thank you very much for the follow. Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. If anyone is still watching from the WowHead blog, and you do have any questions, be sure to pop pop into the main window, and me or anyone in chat will try to answer as best we can. I'm going to carry on this for a little while, and then maybe we can have a look at... There's a couple of things we could do. We could either go over and have a look at a little bit of Classic, do a little bit of levelling on Samadan over there, or we can go over to Stabadan, my rogue, and have a look at setting up maybe some dual crafting and inscription. Kangai, how are you? Hello to Canada, as Rasheen says. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. You suggest Stabadan, do you, Mushy? What do you think is the best items to stock up on for the 8.3 and Raid release? Item price spikes. I would guess having a look at, I guess, potions and enchants. I've got a feeling, obviously, people are going to be gearing up. So, and the Raid's going to obviously coming out as well. Am I going to update my TSM pastebin for Classic? I certainly will. Once I've actually done an update on it, I'm definitely going to mainly focus on tailoring first, and then I'll do my pastebin for that, certainly. What professions would you recommend as extra once you have one of each? Well, alchemy is good for the cooldowns, certainly. Tailoring is good for the hexweave bags. Engineering is good for the mounts on that. Those would be my first three I immediately think of. I just realised we've got Oreo here, and I haven't put his camera on. There we go. There we are, a sleeping Oreo. It's alright, Oreo, I haven't disturbed you too much. Alright, we'll do this lot of scrapping, and then we'll move over to Stabadan and have a look at setting up some professions. Now with Stabadan, what I would like to do is not use any gold from other characters like I did with WowAwakening. I'd like to make him his own self-contained character right from the beginning. Why do people buy hexweave bags when deep sea is so much cheaper? It all depends on your server, and I think people, just their mentality is they think hexweave bag is the go-to bag, and sometimes people do it just because they like the look of the icon. And don't forget the embroidered deep sea satin bags, 32 slot. They sell for a stable 5.5k for you. Yeah, the problem I have is I don't do the dungeon runs, so I don't make those myself, unfortunately. Don't like to learn new things, exactly, yes. I think because the name burned into people's minds. Yeah, I think so. Snaky Banana, did I say hello to you after your follow? But if I didn't, thank you very much for your follow. Can I link my current pastebin for Classic? If you have a look, it should be in my general pastebin. Have a look in there. It should be in there, I believe. Right, so we've done all of those. We currently have 32 Expulsum on us, so that's a good at least 30 odd veiled crystals coming my way. I don't need them just yet, so let's go over to Stabadan, my rogue, and see what we can do in terms of professions and things there. There we go. Been testing stack amounts, trying 10 stacks of pots and flasks. Yeah, I've settled on 10 for my alchemy at the moment. I haven't bothered mixing it up too much. Am I doing WowAwakening? Oh, let's do WowAwakening to see if we can we do the Silas buff yet? I think I'm a little bit early. I'm about 10 minutes early. Let's have a quick look. We buy all kind of things, all kind of prices, even when others sell for even the same price as cheaper. People are silly. I think that kind of is it really, isn't it, Rasheen? You can't guess what someone else might be thinking. You can try, but you might be wrong. So how long have I got left on this? Can I do the... So I need to look at the actual... Where is it? Duration 13 minutes. Okay, we've got 13 minutes left. I'll have to come back to that. Okay. Okay, no problem, right one too. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. Fairly specific question, but here we go. You only play one toon, period. You have 0 alt and love sticking to your hunter. You're a skinning leather worker with cooking, fishing and archaeology. Any tips aside from flipping to make gold? Don't care to make 5 million a month, but you like to get over 200k finally. Well, focus on what you're doing. Leatherworking's good for the notorious gear, and the drums of fury. Here's Stabadan. Let's log into him whilst we're here. And then obviously cooking is really good, and tying that in with fishing to get some cheaper bits and pieces. Doing all the meals, the Bountiful Captain's Feast, the Mekdal's Big Mek, Biltong, all the latest BFA stuff. Oh, there's a few things new here. We haven't done any of that because this is a fresh character that we've just got up to level 380 exactly. Just through doing world quests and going through the early part of Najjatar and getting a little bit of benthic gear. So he's done quite well at the moment. Let's how far away are we from Paralis? Oh, we're not far at all. Let's just go and fly over there. We'll do that. Oh, I missed a load of stuff on chat. Hold on, let me just scroll back up. Actually, whilst I'm doing that, we'll be alright there. Doing 3 and 1 for the flasks, 2 2020 sometimes sales. Ah, right, okay, that would work, yeah. A good mix of them, though. That shall not be named, had his name said. Sorry, Rasheen. The 8.3 change will kill your margins on pretty stacks, but maybe flipping will be easier since it's LIFO. I think so. I think it's going to be better for the whole market. Alfred GG, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Right to lurk. Have you bought herbs yet? No, I haven't, Mushy. I haven't even set up anything on Stabadan yet, so we're all in the early stages here. Making the auction house easier for the average user is still good. More people won't be intimidated, and it's also more opportunity. I've got that. We'll go through. I missed a few things here. 2k gold. So where you appear, you know the streamer is good when Rasheen is here. He's great. He's rocking his swing beside him, watching the lights. Wall of Hearts. Very nice. TSN, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. And as someone who only crafts and almost never sells mats, and you're really looking forward to it. Yeah, I am certainly. I think it's going to be great. Right, let's just fly back over here, back to Paralis. You think it's time to stock up for 8.3? Haven't had the time to look into things. But aren't we getting new herbs and ores? I don't know if we are. I don't think we're getting new herbs and ores. I think we're going to make use of the existing ones, I would say. Oh, I don't have one slip hammer for add-ons, but whilst I'm chatting, you're more than welcome to have a look at my list here. The main things I've got is Addy Bags, Buy 'em All, Decursive, Easy Scrap, Gathermate, Hikili for my alts, Loot Appraiser, Mood Anything's just really for the stream. Rematch I don't really use for pets, but it's there if I need it. Voodoo for my healing. Sushi Sort's really good for your sorting your guild bank. Roots is another one, and Gathermate for my farming. I use Zygor for my alt and TSM obviously for everything. I've got a few disabled as well, but that's the list as it is for the moment. CSM, Apphelper and Bagnon. Yep, those are all good ones as well. Buttons will be okay. Not gear though, since catch-up pieces will drop 420 item level. Yeah, that's a shame about the catch-up gear being the same. Maybe people will. I mean, that happened with Notorious gear and Benthic gear. Maybe the same will happen. That people will pick and choose because they might want to get specific slots and things like that. Yeah, that's what I've heard, Alfred. I haven't checked specifically myself yet, but I believe that's going to be the case. But the food will use the new food uses new materials that come from those zones. So there's new fish and there's new meat and things. There's a new Rune-like Legion that you can buy to for the next reputation. Okay, it's the same system. Catch it here. Traxenders, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Always hated the food markets. Well, the good thing is the new food is specific to the new events going on, the Visions of N'Zoth. So the old food, I think, will still sell. So what's my opinion on Bruty being retired and becoming a feat of strength? I think it's okay. Oh, Oreo's just disappeared, so let's just turn his camera off. I'm not too disappointed with it, because if you haven't got it, you've still got time to get it. You've got up to a year potentially, so I think it's still entirely doable. In some respects, it's better because it will give people the focus, knowing that it's going to disappear, that they can focus. Okay, right, I really need to get my gold, and now's the perfect time to do it. Now that we're kind of winding down this expansion. Can I go buy herbs now? Yes, I will do, Mushy. I need to set up a group for it all, really. Actually, what I could do is I've got quite a few on my other guild. Now I need to come over and do that. Let me think how I could do that. I need to go over to my hunter, Bridget, because she's in the other guild's bank, and there's a load of herbs in there that I can send on over. I could import a group, actually. That's not a bad idea. Actually, even better, I'll use the Undermine Journal to do that one. Okay, so let's see. What I understand, the BOA catch-up gear will be more armor type specific, though, not like benthic, so the crafted gear should sell well for a while if we get those armor type tokens they need. Yeah, that would make sense, Spirit Wolf. I think it will still sell. Very well bit on the late side. Had your weekly Discord farm. Still wanted to come and check out the stream. Well, it's very kind of you to stop by. Just got back into BFA. So everything's selling like the Legos in Legion. Not really, because they're mainly bind on pickup, the stuff that's profession specific, unfortunately. Oh, there's loads of chat here, hold on. Like the idea of having a 5 million gold mount every expansion as a Goldmaker endgame mount, and helps deflation even when someone who's more casual raider but loves gathering can have a goal as well. Yeah, I'm not sure whether 5 million every expansion might be a bit harsh though. How do you get Gloom Dust? Do you just buy it, or is there something worth disenchanting? For Gloom Dust, I will buy it if it's cheap, or I'll make green bracers and disenchant those. Thoughts on stocking up on anchors? I don't know. Do you mean anchor weed itself, or actual anchors? But the anchor weed, I would say, if the markets are declining, just keep collecting what you've got. Sell a little bit if you can, if you're using the cooldown, but I personally would turn it into potions at the moment. Sliphammer, thank you very much for the follow. The Brutus does give you a focus because you're so bad at saving, you keep buying people mounts and stuff. Now you actually have to save. Yes, I mean, that's the good thing, and you've got a timeline now. So they always say with making goals, you know, make it specific and make it time specific. And that's what Blizzard have done by putting a time scale on it. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mushy. And you mean anchorweed? Okay. You were loved. Definitely loved. 28 minutes to go. Thank you, Mushy. I'm just desperately trying to catch up on chat here. It keeps on scrolling so fast. Certainly there will be a new Gold Sink Mountain Shadowlands. I bet there will be, certainly. Never told anyone that when 9.0 comes, that all the old raid farming will be gone. All the old raids will now scale. Yes, but they did say that, but they also specifically said that once you've gotten yourself to max level, then you go back and you can do all the old raid farming. But I do need to start buying. Okay, what I will do first, before I do that, I'm just going to go over onto Bridget, because she has, I believe, access to a load of herbs, and we'll send them over to Stabadan, because that will be a good start from that perspective. Need so many herbs to start a subscription. Yes, I believe I do. So let's go over and have a look at my other guild bank, which we happen to be standing right in front of. And look at this, we've got a whole load of lockboxes we need to send over as well. Okay, let's just... now, can I use TSM get for this? /TSM get. I don't know if lock would work. Got one. Oh no, it is working. Let's let that run through. Okay, so we can get all of these. All the old world content is capped at 50. In level 60 characters, we have the ability to kill it. Yeah. Your markets have all but crashed finally. I've been running the Super Bracelet Shuffle. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I found that with the braces, my profit margins are certainly less than that they were at the moment. Even BFA stuff will be soloable in Shadowlands by Shadowlands 60. Do you think so? Because I'm not sure about doing a Legion raid right now as a level 120, but I know it can be done. Yes, sorry, Coraline. That's another TSM undocumented tip. If you do /TSM get and then a keyword, like say in this case thorium, so I do /TSM get Thor. You don't have to type the whole thing, and then it will start picking up everything that has Thor in it, and it's going through every single tab. It's not just doing this one as well. And then you can use /TSM put to put things in the bank. It works for the bank and the guild bank as well. Usurin, thank you very much for your subscribe. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Let's put a whole load of emotes in chats for you. Thank you very much for your support. Really is appreciated. Excuse me. But the problem with the guild bank is it's so laggy and slow that sometimes it's just as quick to actually click things. So that's something to bear in mind. But it starts throwing stuff in the bank on the first tab. Yeah, it is a bit messy. It would be nice if it did put it in the right one. So we do have, here we go, Mushy. We do have some Legion herbs that I've got that I can start with. That's going to be useful, isn't it? Oh, Alfred, thank you very much for your sub. Also very, very kind of you. So I'm guessing Legion herbs are going to be useful. Thank you, Alfred, for your support. Really is kind of you. Syrian, you really are the Bob Ross of this thing. You're so lucky to have you. Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. I'm honoured to be here. That's about 100,000 in glyphs. Is it, really? Okay, well, that's going to be useful. So, so let's start with Aethril. /TSM get. You know, the easiest thing here would be better for me to actually... oop, I typed that in the wrong thing. Get eighth. Oh, I've done the wrong spelling again. I'll type this correctly once. Oh, no, I really can't type today. Hold on. /TSM get AETH. No, that's not working. What am I doing wrong? Let me just Alt and up arrow. No, I spelt that completely wrong. Seth. That'll be why. TSM AETH. Right. Now we can do that correctly. It would have been, after all that, it would have been quicker for me to actually have just clicked on the items. But still, it's going through at the moment. What did I miss on chat? Definitely worth it. Knowledge and guidance have helped me for a very long time. More than happy to help. Well, thank you, Alfred. That's very kind of you. Right, I'm going to do this lot manually now, because it's actually quicker. Barracuda we don't need. This is all the fish. Fionn Skaggle, Foxflower, Starlight Rose. Pick up all of that. All that Starlight Rose. Mossgill Perch we don't need. Fireweed. frostweed, all the spare herbs basically. Okay, that's a decent amount. What else have we got in here? I know some of this isn't used. Okay, so that's all not used. That's fine. Let's send all of this lot over. We don't need a Zygor up at the moment, so let's move that over there. Okay, let's go to a mailbox. There we go. We're trying to restock for the inscription trinkets. What's the best shuffle for Expulsum at the moment? Inscription. Can Inscription do something specific with Expulsum? Can you get Expulsum through Inscription? Would be my first question. Oh, I've got the anniversary gift I haven't even opened. Let's take that whilst we're here. That's brilliant. And now we're going to send a load of this stuff over. So I think it's 12 I can do. So let's send that on over. So even though I said I wasn't going to help a character, this is all spare stuff. So this is going to actually help Stabadan quite a bit. But what with the lockboxes and everything, let's just go through this quickly. Well, as quickly as I can. Oh, can I shift click this? I wonder if that would work. No, that doesn't work. That would have been handy if I could. Or I could have made a group out of doing this. This would also have worked. I know there's lots of chat going on. I'll do my best to try and catch up on it once I've done all of this. Fortunately, you can't have eyes in two places at once. So I'll just run through this. Must say I really do appreciate you all being here. Let me just go through that. Okay, there we go. That lot's done. Right, what did I miss? So cloth and leather, the best option. Okay, you can shuffle tailoring braces with one skill in tailoring. Yeah, okay, so that's that's what I was going to say. The tailoring shuffle's probably the best one for Expulsum. I really liked Alliance BFA leveling, and looking forward to leveling Wrath again. Yeah, I really want to do expansion by expansion leveling on alts. I'm really looking forward to that side. Don't know if you'd like to Burning Crusade 10 to 50. No, I think I'll avoid Burning Crusade. I want to do Wrath and I want to do Pandaria mainly. A good classic shuffle is making White Bandit Mask and then Disenchanting for Vision Dust and 3 to 5 Vision Dust per disenchant. Okay, thank you, Kangai. I'll have to try and remember that one for when I go over to Classic. Let's log out and head on over to Stabadan. Then we can go in here. Alright, we've got Oreo back, so I'm going to pop his camera back on. There you go. Yeah, sleeping Oreo, who got the not so favourable end at the moment. Okay, so let's head on over to the mailbox and we'll pick up everything we need here. So this was all sent through. What size bags have we got? We've only got 22 slot bags, so we need to fix that. But what I'm trying to do is not try and get any gold from other characters. So we've got 5,000 gold here. Oh, I missed your import strings as well, Mushy, so we'll need to have a look at that. So let's see what we can do with our 5,000 gold at the moment. Is it required to have a cat to become a WowHead streamer? Yes, absolutely, Blem. You have to have a cat. More if you can. Up to 3, preferably. 660k towards the 5k mount. Long grind. Well, that's a good start. 660k is getting close to that first million. You still need an alchemy tune. Matt Goldcast, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, you basically. I can't think of many people who don't have cats. who are streaming on WowHead. Tomcat is a cat on his stream. A cat, a chicken, and a Santa-sized beard. Yes, yeah. Sadly, Dottie isn't with us anymore, but it was nice having her around. We did have a dog, and Bessie. You would have loved Bessie because she would have basically tried to sit on my lap. She was the best one ever. Everyone says that about their dogs. Jaco HS, thank you very much for the follow, and Catweasel also thank you for the follow. Could find no mention of the mount you thought you read about. I was supposed to have 5 seats and now flying without needing Pathfinder, and it cost 10 million. That sounds interesting. I remember, wasn't there another MMO that had a massive mount like that could carry like 30 people or something like that? Something crazy. She's with us with heart and mind. Absolutely, Darkwing. Pretty sure you can do it from a lot earlier. Not sure it's worth it. What did I miss there? Guru Bash, thank you very much for the follow. And Florentine also, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you're having a lovely time tonight. Oh, right. Your level 80 character is in Northrend and your mining's maxed. If you switch professions, will you lose your mining? Confused about the low levels work across the expansions. Yes, I think you will. There is a book you can do to relearn old. I think it was a Legion thing. There was a book to relearn what you unlearned, but rank 3s that you got in certain professions. I don't know whether it works with the way the whole thing is split per expansion, though. I'm wondering if that works. What the gold sync mount will have, running out of unique options. I've thought about this one, Blackwater. What I want is a wagon to go on the back of my Brutosaur, and I want that wagon to have a bank and a guild bank on it, and then I want an extra mount that goes on the back of the wagon, and then I want that to be a mailbox, and then I want the whole thing to go along in one giant train that follows each other. That will be what I would love. Right, I'm still not doing very well on buying my herbs here, am I, Mushy? Okay, so I want a train, basically. Make it so. And a mail, yes, a donkey. That would be fantastic. I want a male auction house mount. So we'll have the Brutosaur. So it'll be like this. And then, hold on. Then we need to go somewhere where there's a wagon. And you have that. I haven't got one here. There's a great one in Stormwind. But you have the wagon. Let's go over here. Let's just turn around a little bit. So you have your wagon off the back here of your Brutosaur, so it pulls it along, and then off the back of that you have a donkey with a mailbox on it. I think that'll be great. I know you can get a mailbox already, but I want a bank, a guild bank, and a mailbox. A whole caravan going. That would be the ultimate in terms of mobile markets. Dado, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. I wanted to run on electrics as well. Exactly. I can make it. I would. Maybe I should do that, Lizard. Maybe I should make it in 3D and suggest it to the WoW team. I'm sure we could do something with the Volpera stuff and add it on, and then say, right, okay, this is what we need to do. Mail add-on should be a flying dino perching on top of the caravan. Oh, that could be, yeah, because it's like carrier pigeons, isn't it? You could do that. Maybe it goes on the head of the Brutosaur or something like that. And you want a TSM mobile app to post. You could do that, Darkwing, with a, I guess it's a bit cumbersome, but you can use like Chrome Remote Desktop on your phone if you have a computer that you can leave on. Animated model of that at the start of the stream. Yeah, this will be my wish list thing. I'll have to think of that and how I could do it. Oh, there's so many ideas of things I want to do. Parading around the Dwarven District, definitely. Remote access to WoW is against terms of service. Is it really, Washeen? Through using something like a Chrome Remote Desktop? I never knew that. Surely it's you're using the same inputs, you're just not... it is. Oh, right. Otherwise you're scrapped from bed. Oh, right. I never knew that, because I thought it's as if you were physically at the computer. essentially, because you're not automating it in any way. Because if it was like, I'm not using any extra, I'm only using something to use my computer. I'm remote using the computer, not the program itself. But that would be handy. Doppelbock, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. That's what you did from bed. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Make items that cost 5 million, add things to your mount to replace stuff like auction house modules and the yak and the longboy. That would be nice. That's a nice idea, actually. Right, okay. I'm failing miserably at buying herbs here. So let me just have a quick look at what we could do. Quick shopping list. So if I was to do this from scratch, let's bring up the Undermine journal. And we'll get the codes from here. So we'll go straight into herbalism. And we'll pick up all the BFA herbs. And we'll copy that. And then we'll go back to WoW into TSM. We'll make a group here. Okay, those are the most important ones. Okay, thank you, Mushy. And then we're going to make a new group here. And we're going to call it herbs. And then we're going to make another one here. And we're going to call this BFA herbs. And then we're going to import, export into BFA herbs and paste in that string there. So we've got all of those. Confirm that. JHM, thank you very much for using your Prime. Very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see, a whole load of emotes for you. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Oh, it's very kind of you to say so. Thank you very much indeed. Cool to have more NPC pets with functionality like that. So which ones? Legion ones are the most important. Okay, that's the Legion ones, is it, Mushy? Okay, let's grab that. Copy that. And we'll go here and make another group. Legion herbs. We'll make them all whilst we're here. Now we don't need WOD herbs because we'll do that through a garrison. I haven't set up a garrison here. Classic herbs and Pandaria herbs and I guess we'll make Wrath of the Lich King herbs. I guess this would work, but we'll go for the Legion one. I feel like I'm missing something. Legion. Yeah, we've got Legion herbs. There it is. There we go. So we'll go Legion herbs and import that string. Import that. So that's Aetherol, all of those that we've got. There we go. And, oh, what did I miss here? Xaverin and Matak, thank you very much for the follow. Right, I probably missed a whole load of chat as well. Oh, Cataclysm. Yes, that was it. Thank you. Yes, Ward glyphs are worthless. Okay, hold on. What did I miss here? Got all that. What is useless? Off to bed, Speckett. Oh, thanks for the lovely stream. Thank you ever so much for stopping by, Speckett. Good to have you here. Cataclysm. That's it. That's what I'm missing. Cataclysm. Thank you. Keep buying herbs. Yeah, we need to find something here. Hold on. Let's go. Groups, herbs. Make another one here. Call it Cataclysm. Herbs. There we go. Okay. Okay. Or did I not send no chat of that? Don't know why I had that on my chat, but let's go and do that one. Burning Crusade. Thank you, TSN. There's me forgetting all the expansions. Let's do another one here. Burning Crusade. Herbs. Not that I really think I'll need those, but we'll look at the Legion ones as Mushy's given me those. Those are the important ones. So we're looking at all of these, and so we want an average buy of each of these. Now there's nothing that's particularly cheap here, Legion Herb wise. Certainly not under a gold. So what kind of price would you suggest? Buying them all under a certain price. 4 gold 90, 88 gold for Felwart there. You buy up to 8 gold. Okay, so let's take 8 gold as a example here. So we're going to start with this. I want to make an operation. No, got a group. Legion Herb, group operation. We're going to make a shopping operation. I'm going to create a new one. And we're going to do buy herbs up to 8 gold. There we go. So maximum auction price. Now I'd like to get an idea of the market at this early stage, so I'm going to keep on show auctions above max price. So I'll leave it at that. It's a very simple operation. So we'll go over here. When I go offline, okay, thank you, Mushy. You've got maybe 200 available. So shopping operation, Legion Herbs. Let's run a shopping scan. So what do we have that's under 8 gold at the moment? Can buy Dreamleaf to mill for roseate pigment and salad pigment with blood of Sargeras from the blood vendor in Legion Dalaran. Okay, thank you, Rasheen. That's worth remembering. So I don't really have much access to blood of Sargeras at the moment. Maybe 200. You need that for 1 glyph. If you have just 1 glyph, if you have bad luck. Wow, okay, that's going to be tough. Need to go over another string with you later on my Discord. Okay, been having some issues with some items recognizing. Okay, Demona, no problem. I'll try and answer when I'm next available. Okay, so we would look at this, and okay, Dreamleaf would be worth buying at 4 gold 81. But 1 glyph can sell for 10k. Oh, alright, okay, that's not too bad. So Dreamleaf looks reasonable. We can buy up to 5 gold fairly reasonably. Now I'm going to keep an eye on my gold here. I've only got 5,000. So let's start with buying some of this, as it's the cheapest. So we're already down to 4,000 gold. So this is the slight worry, is we don't have the capital to buy a lot of herbs at this one. So we do need to balance out the amount of gold we have. Obviously we need to level the requisite expansion professions as well, and especially the BFA side of things as well. Score Shane, how are you? Me and the fam are doing very well, thank you very much. It's a bit wet and dark here today, but we had a lovely Sunday roast earlier. Nice big roast beef, so that was good. Good to have you here. We are literally getting close to the end of the stream though, but it's good to have you here certainly. World Quest and Legion give blood occasionally, and while doing them with order resources, follow equipment, you can make lots of order resources with which you can buy blood, and then turn the blood into herbs you need if they're overpriced in the auction house, or not enough like in Mice. Thank you, Rishi. That's good to know. That's very good to know. Yeah, so basically World Quest, get the bloods, get your followers sorted. So there's quite a list I can see myself doing there. But we've got a decent amount at the moment on us. So that's a good start. I'm just going to finish off by picking all these locks and opening what we've got here, because this might help me get some extra gold. And then we'll finish up the stream there, I think. I'll just quickly go and pick these. And then we'll open up all these lockboxes. I've had these lockboxes for years. Got no idea what's in them or where they're from. Avina Tadoom, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. It's been a bit. The Bracer Shovel doesn't seem to do well anymore. You totally switched to glyphs. Make a habit to do the Felwart World Quest. Okay. How many millions do I have next? I have about 2.5 million at the moment. I think we last looked earlier on in the stream. Once you have veiled crystals, you can sell them. Do I sell them raw or make enchants? At the moment, I've been making enchants, but my enchant profits have been dwindling over the past month or so. So I would be tempted to maybe try and sell a few veil directly as well. Okay, thank you, Kango. Have a great rest of your evening, or day rather. How come the breast shuffle isn't working well for you anymore? Did the economy tank that mad? I mean, I know sometimes the numbers can, the random numbers can be... You just saw my Discord message wonderfully on time. Fantastic, Mashi. Well, it's good to have you here. Either way. Enchants have dropped off quite a bit, sadly. Yes, in terms of profit margins, they have for me, certainly. So I don't know what to do next, really. Hi Sam, nice to see me for the first time. Usually see my videos on YouTube and learning how to make the gold by the Brutosaur. Well, you've come to the right place. It's good to have you here. I am literally just finishing up, but it's lovely to have so many lovely people here tonight. I really appreciated your company. Just barely turned on my Discord. That's no problem, actually. I figured you'd have been busy. Yeah, you mentioned with gumdrops you had memory issues. Right, we've unlocked all of those. Now, I wonder if we can get something nice out of this lot. A few greens, perhaps. Whether we could sell these on the auction house, I don't know. We've got another lockbox inside a lockbox. That's an interesting one. Didn't know you could do that. Oops, I meant to click that. I get a few greens. Got my mind on my money. Let's open up all of these. One thing you can really think of to make gold is to farm the hell out of herbs and enchants that's mats now and wait for 8.3. That's not a bad idea, really. Getting the herbs, there'll still be a decent sale rate for them, and it's fairly relaxing to do it as well. I'm sure enchants will come back into their own once the new raid comes in and people start upgrading their gear. Normal behaviour for lockboxes, they hide inside each other. It's weird. It's weird how they can fit inside. Are those herb groups you imported posted somewhere I can grab them? They will be, once I've filled them out, once I've done them for everything, I'll make a paste bin of them so that you can import them, certainly. Although if you want to make them yourselves, they're quite easy if you use something like the Undermine Journal to pick up the herb groups. But once I've finished it, I'll probably do a video on it and go through all the different bits and pieces that I'm started on today, and do a paste bin accordingly. But the main thing we do here is get ourselves started. Got a load of stuff here that we can at least either sell or put on the auction house, if these are BOEs, which they are. Some of these I haven't collected the appearance of either. Price wise, there's a few different price ranges of these. Obviously they've all got a 0.01 sale rate, which isn't going to be great, but we'll see how that goes. We might be able to do something with those. Have I ever tried 3,200 herbs in one backpack? No, not really. Hunter Grulock, thank you very much for the follow. That's very kind of you. You've literally just caught me at the end of the stream though, so I think I'm pretty much done on my time at the moment. So I'll probably finish up there. I've got a lot more to do on Stabadan and his inscription and jewel crafting journey. Okay, thank you, Demona. Wouldn't mind helping out with that. I have no problem. No problem at all. So, what have we done today? We've gone through our mailboxes. We talked about the WowHead blog mainly. It was lovely to have all the new people in here. Lovely to have your company. My next stream will be next Sunday, where I'll do another WowHead article, and we'll go through that again. And maybe we'll do a bit more on Stabadan here. If I can get some time to start on that video for inscription, we'll do that as well. Other things coming up. Well, watch out for Comp Stomp, definitely. Make sure you get that for your Marks of Honour. And if you need the reputation, you've got the food buff coming in as well. So lots of things to look forward to. Gearing up your alts as well in the battleground. And maybe a little bit of classic in there as well. Lots and lots of things to do. Oh, thank you, Ramu, for the cheer. That's very kind. Let's just turn Oreo's box off for the moment. There we go. And Thank you, Dizzy. Have a good day as well. That's very kind. When is CompStomp? It's on reset. It's on Wednesday. We have it here on the 27th. So CompStomp begins. So that's going to be very important for getting your marks of honour. Do it on every 120 that you have. No more long nights. Yeah. But thank you, Pepe the Feels Good Frog. Thank you very much for the follow. All day CompStomp. You got one. Ouch. That's not good. So spend the next days in AV, get into 120, then do CompStomp. Basically, that's how it should work. And you should be in a good position then to get some marks of honour that you can then use for your PvP gear once 8.3 comes out. That's the main things. White Tay CHDK, thank you very much also for the follow. Thank you all. Thank you everyone who's come through from the WowHead blog. I really appreciate the new people coming through. Let's see if we can find someone to throw a host on over to. I don't know who's on at the moment that we can do one to. Let's have a look. We have, Bob Ross is on. That could be an interesting one. But let's carry on with some gold making. It looks like we have Arnota is on. So I think we'll do a, we'll throw a host over to Arnota. Let's just have a look. He's doing his daily gold grind, Sunday gold making, shorter stream because he's sick. Oh no, poor Arnota's not feeling very well. So let's go and send some love over to Arnota. Let me go and just wait for that to come through. And Ellis666 and Struct1, thank you very much for the follow. We are just finishing up here, but if you want to catch me, my next stream, or my VOD will be available on Twitch, and then it will be available on YouTube a couple of days later. Please shave your beard. Never. But thank you ever so much for the follow. Really is appreciated. Okay, we're ready for our Arnota. Let me just set this one up. A get well soon raid. Indeed. Let's do /host Arnota 42. There we go. Fantastic. Have a lovely week, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed your evening tonight, and I will see you next Sunday. From myself and Oreo, I'll wish you a very good night, and see you next time.